Rise streaming services. Let the viewers know that I am here. And we are live. Darren Crook with comment number 1. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Good morning to you. How's our mic levels? Are we hot? Are we comfortable? No. You're lying. It says the mic is on. Is my own OBS lying to me? I Oh, that's me. I'm like, dude, you can't be the first one in here and tell me my mic is muted. I was like, come on, man. Start off gaslighting me. How rude. You're saying the mic is a little hot, though. Shall we turn her down? She is a little hot, girl. Microphone needs to calm down. Let me see if I got any filters on that I can. Here we go. Make that mic chill out a little bit. Cool. Girthy says, last Saturday was my birthday. I am 29. Aw, you're a little baby in this world. Not that I'm like significantly older than you. Like we would have definitely gone to high school during the same years, but man, everybody under than 30. Because like even us 30 and up, like early 30s to mid 30s, even late 30s, I would say. We're still little babies in this world. Okay? Just I hope that helps. All right. The four horsemen of the Dadpocalypse have summoned me. Who are all of them? I know there's the Powerpuff Girls, but I must know. Hold on, I'm not doing this again. Oh, how this always happens. I noticed this in the Destiny video. I got like a little schmutz of my lipstick, and the whole time I was editing, I was like, I just want to wipe it. And then we get to the part in the video where I realize and I do it. I'm like, yes, yes, so satisfying. I also uploaded a short once where I had lipstick on my teeth and I didn't notice it somehow the whole editing. And then I go back and watch it after uploading it. And I'm like, I hate myself. This sucks. This is going to be 3 hours of the song Scotty Doesn't Know from Eurotrip. I think this might surprise us all, actually. You know? We've got a couple minutes till our official start time, but we do have a theme of the stream here today. But honestly, we're already live, so I'll just jump right into it. Quite frankly, the usual intro, housekeeping, stuff like that. I'm Lauren. Welcome back to another Dadvocate stream. We try to keep it pretty audio only friendly here. So we're going to be telling some stories. I will be showing some things on screen, but don't worry, I will visually describe everything that is going on and or will just be reading it. So if you want to go take your DOG for a WALK, I have to be careful. Mine can hear me. If you want to lift some weights at the gym or just do some choring either around the house or around the warehouse, whatever you're doing, fixing cars, I don't know. This should be a pretty fun stream for you to listen to. Because it's going to be long, we tend to stream for a good few hours at a time. Maybe not few. I always think, when I say few, I think of five. When I say a couple, I think of like three or maybe two, like two, but like maybe three. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe not a few, but like roughly 3 hours. So what you want, if you want, one thing you might want to do, one thing I like to do while listening to long podcasts that I can't like finish all in one go is just pause it and then go back to your YouTube library. You should be able to find it right there. And if you're watching from TikTok or Twitch, I actually don't know how you do it. I'm sure there's some recently watched thing. I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to Twitch. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. So, with all that housekeeping out of the way, oh yeah, one more thing. I try to pay attention to the chat. I've got it pulled up with pretty big texts that my blind ass can read. But if you absolutely really want to get my attention with something, super chats and cheers, preferably super chats just because they stay. Uh, itemized for longer from my point of view. That's the best way for me to actually like see it and read it. Not to like beg for your coin or anything, but just letting you know that that option is there. Otherwise, by all means, yeah, I read other chats too, even without getting paid. So, with all that being said, and sorry for the sniffling, another fun fact, my septumplasty with a terminate reduction is February 5th. So we might be doing a stint stream where my nose is stuffed with tubes. We might, but no exterior changes to the nose to be expected. Just fixing the deviated septum. And we gotta let Miles in. He's out there crying. Let me get his dog bed. Are you so happy that I'm gonna let you come inside? Or is your friend outside? That was you need to go outside? Fair enough. Okay. So I might have to run out in another minute as soon as I hear him bark, but the cat tax has come early. We has a moch. What you saying, Girthy? Will you ever do a call-in dating advice stream? I don't even know how like calling in would work necessarily. If I do it from if I start it from TikTok, I think that gives you the option to join in, but you have to have like X amount of followers or something to make that happen. But you guys can always like write in. We can do a scheduled dating stream where you guys write in and I read your stuff out loud if you want. All right. But anyway, today's theme of the stream is making fun of cheaters. A very fun pastime of mine. You know, there's just something to the joy, the schadenfreude of seeing people fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just something to it. But beyond that, you know, I've done a lot of like cheater expose content and making fun of cheaters, but I think the thing that deserves to be made fun of the most are cheater communities because there's more than just one. If you thought the other woman and the wife, the coaching business for those experiencing infidelity, was like the only place that you could go to like hang out with other cheaters and talk about cheating. It's surely not. It's really not. So today we're going to explore some of the most popular spaces for cheaters. This is going to be a really big wake-up call for a lot of you. You may find yourself horrified, disturbed, but I implore you to absolutely challenge yourself to listen and not judge. We'll all see if we can do it. Okay, I want us all to get as integrated as we possibly can. Really put on our best devil's avocado and try and see things from the AP's perspective. Oh, you guys don't just casually know what an AP is? You're not entrenched in cheating culture enough to know all of the acronyms? Don't worry, I'm here to hold your hand through it, introduce you to this wacky, wild world. So we'll start off here. This was the original Other Woman and the Wife network, basically, before Chelsea tried to just like own the capitalization on it. Let me see. Getting my no and super no bottle ready. Yeah, y'all gotta stay equipped because we're gonna need this today. Okay. The engaged few, thank you for the super chat, says pronounced Schadenfreude. I knew one of you guys was gonna get me. No need to insult Germans. The Schadenfreude. I'm just gonna say it worse now. I'm gonna double down, okay? But yeah, you know, if you're a other woman and, you know, your boyfriend happens to be someone else's husband, do I ever have a free community for you? Look, Chelsea will charge you $79 to $89 per quarter. But here you can just sign up with an anonymous account and get some full-on advice. All right, let's see what the I'm going to scroll this over a little bit actually so that you can read the description of this. For a fair dynamic where one person is single and the other person is married or attached. This is a non-judgmental place for the affair dynamic of such. Here you can discuss your experiences being the other person or occasionally a married person and seek help from those who are going through or have gone through being part of an affair. So, do we love it? Are we loving this chat? Do we love having this resource? 25,000 members, by the way. I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's quite a lot. But also like very bold and brave to think that you can create a subreddit, any subreddit really, that will remain non-judgmental, because I don't know like how powerful the mods are in this community. Like some of these subreddits, the mods have it like locked down, others kind of like loosey-goosey, things might stay up for days before people notice it. So I'm not too sure how heavily the subreddit is modded, but I will tell you that it has inspired a counter subreddit called r/AdulteryHate, where God, we really like find our people here. Let me move this over a bit so you can also read this descriptor here. Oh my God, please. I'm holding down the alt button. Just let me do what I need to. Okay, thank you, OBS. This is described as, this place is not for healing or to give others advice. There are other subs for that, which is listed in the sidebar. This place is just an outlet for that bubbling rage associated with infidelity that is too familiar for far too many. Though you could argue that is healing. And amazingly, this sub actually has like significantly less members. A little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Demoralizing, perhaps, to see that there may just be more cheaters than people who don't like cheating, when in the ultimate battle of good versus evil. Yeah, bubbling rage is a really fair description. I also found this other subreddit called Cheaters Confronted, but I'm not gonna lie, this one's actually just like really depressing. It's, if you like the aftermath of people finding out that they were getting cheated on, but without any like redemption arc or like positive gotcha moment or like revenge story, then that's the one for you. But Cheaters Confronted is like, they don't really ever say how the confrontation went down. There's no like, I don't know, filling their pantries with Nutella or something. Like, no big revenge story. They're just kind of like, these are all the depressing texts I found, and you just are like, that would suck to find. So I didn't find a lot of great stuff from there, but to give you an idea of that one before we get into the real good stuff, here's like an example of what you would see in Cheaters Confronted. Like I said, there's not very much confronting. It's mostly them just trying to be like, look at these texts. How cooked am I? And it's like their husband blatantly planning dates and sleeping with their coworker. And it's like, you are cooked. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what you want me to tell you. So like in this one, they're trying to figure out if this bill means, when it says has Madison account, if that is Ashley Madison. And the comments are pretty interesting. This one's funny. Is my cheating husband cheating? Yes, honey. This is where it can be dangerous, though, to go on Reddit, because it's like now any bill you have with the name Madison in it is gonna have people being like, what's good, Gerald? You know what I mean? But like, that could potentially be anything, but it is a service, so that's where it's sus. Like, all these other things seem to like actually make sense, but then you're like, what is this? And so like this is where you kind of get some solid intel. Sadly, Ashley Madison is the first and most frequent hit. Others include a beer company, a volunteer organization in Connecticut, and an ice skating slash figure skating club. So it's like when those are your four options, like they have actually done the detective work, it appears, I fear. And good for them. Also, feel better soon, Dylan. Feel better soon. That's terrible. Make sure you drink your water, blow your nose a lot. Okay. I think there was another one that I was like, let me check this one out. Oh man. Yeah, no, these are just like so depressing. Like I said, there's a chick who found out her husband was cheating through the like virtual photo frame that would like go across the TV. Like they would sync their photo albums so it would just kind of show the most recent pictures, and it just started populating pictures of him and his side piece, and then one of them is her holding their baby. Miles is like, oh, I'm ready to come in. I hear my mom is stressed. Yeah, that one's savage, huh? Oh. What a way to find out that you're being cheated on, though. I will say. Again, this does not show like the confrontation, but it does kind of describe how it happened. I ooh, at that point, I don't often like jump straight to the worst possible intention. But at that point, I might just be like, did you do that on purpose? Like, I feel like they did that on purpose at that point, like specifically to hurt me. But I don't know. But I also don't think they could blame me for thinking that. You know what I mean? So for the rest of the stream, we are going to look at posts mostly from r slash the other woman and posts from r slash adultery hate, making fun of those posts. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna go over with you guys. I will also say this. It is so weird how this whole like cheating community culture, they have their own like terms for things. I've figured out most of them. So AP is affair partner. MM is married man. BS is betrayed spouse. You also might see another one that's like WH or WW. That one is wayward husband or wayward wife. Don't you love that rebranding? Isn't that so cute? Like instead of being like the one who's cheating, they're just like a little wayward. That's so like I love it. I love that. I will definitely like hire these people for my PR crisis team 100%. Okay. So, in this one, the AP does not like that she was not chosen. I love this. This one was posted to Adultery Hate. Why is the wife always chosen? I love their commentary. Better question, why are adulterers always cowards? But they're referencing this post, which is from r slash the other woman. I would assume, unless there are other cheating covens, which I'm sure there are plenty. I'm sure they're all like hag ravens and they can all just psychologically communicate at this point. Telepathically communicate, that's the one. This says, yesterday, my affair partner's wife started questioning the extra cash, separate Amazon account, and credit card. Pretty sure she knows something is up. Pretty sure we are done doing in-person stuffy. His whole in-laws have a tracking device on each other. I have seen it. I know most of you are going to shoot me in the foot for this, but I will never understand why the wife gets chosen, especially when she criticizes, controls, and denies affection to her partner. I guess I just have a past of not feeling chosen in my own life. Food for thought, I guess. And then luckily, like, they actually give her some pretty good advice. Like, if you want to feel chosen, maybe don't pursue married men. Because it's going to be, like, a lot more of an uphill battle at this point. a lot of the stuff that we're going to see today too, as we kind of peel back this curtain into like the cheater's mindset, is this pattern where I really do question if these women would even be attracted to these men if they weren't married. Because, again, in this post, she seems to be accidentally telling on herself that she has this kind of deep seated insecurity, trauma, or competitive nature toward getting picked. And Lord knows that can come from all kinds of things. I think probably everybody does not like not getting picked. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that, you got picked last and gym class is such a solid burn every time because it's like, damn, that really was one of the worst feelings, when people just do a quick once over on you and they're like, you're useless. You are the last person I would ever choose. Like, that obviously sucks, right? But, like, clearly there is a deviation in like healthy structures and patterns for you to like go out of your way to seek that chaos, right? Like, it's hard enough dating single people and getting picked. Why, why are you gonna like put this on extreme hard mode and go after people who are not even single, bro? I actually love Aaron Burden's contribution to that. He says, I was happy when I was picked last because I'd get to go sit on the bench. There was always that kid too. This goes back to the whole like there's someone for everyone, or at least there's like a situation for everyone. Those kids who like are like, oh, you don't want to pick me. I got flat feet. I got curved toes. I'm missing fingers. You don't want to pick me. Ah, sweet release. I remember them girls who like always seemed to have their heavy flow period during gym class. I'm like, you're smart. You're smart for that one. Okay. Oh man, but what do we think about this one? I will say this, going back to her whole, I will never understand why the wife gets chosen. And this is another common theme, I think. If we start to like really piece together the tropes of cheater behavior, one of them is always like, I mean, how many cheaters do you really hear about who like encourage their partner's relationship with their wife and they're like, oh, I don't want to say anything bad about them. Like, we just kind of happen to fall into this, but I don't want to say anything bad about them. No, they always go straight to saying terrible things about their fair partner's wife, trying to like assign blame like for why they made you guys do this. Now, here's the thing. I've said this so many times before. When I first started kind of covering all this other women cheating content community, is we have to ask ourselves, is there ever a time that you almost can't blame the cheater? Because I think the most common scenarios that people actually do start to lean into the cheater empathy camp, the cheater apologist territory, is when we do talk about alienation of affection, which is actually illegal in some states. What's interesting about that is it's not regarding a spouse withholding affection. It's if a spouse cheats on that spouse, then everybody can get charged with alienating the affection. I guess I don't know how exactly it works. I don't live in one of them states. But I agree that if you guys entered a relationship with a sense of intimacy, a pattern of intimacy, and then it just disappears, just gone. And I mean, here's the thing. I think most people can survive a decent chunk of time without sex, right? I think that a lot of people can survive as long as there's something, some affection, hand holding, smooches, deep back rubs. But it's like, I don't know. When you hear about those people who are like, My spouse has not had sex with me in 3 years. Does your opinion of cheating change at that point? Well, what do you do? I think probably the most common moral answer is like, well, you should leave before you cheat, right? That's most people's. But there's also a lot to be said for the fact that it's like, man, you're really being pushed into like a whole area where your carnal nature is being bottled up. And if someone like offers to untwist that bottle, a lot of people can't control it, you know? I understand. I don't think anybody's denying that cheating is nuanced, but I don't know, man. If you're not getting any from your wife, you're still not allowed to cheat. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. It really sucks. Like, it sucks that that's the reality of the situation. But the other reality of the situation is like, if they cheated on you, wouldn't you be pissed? And what's crazy is I don't think I lined it up actually for today's itinerary, but there was one that I found in the Other Woman community where this woman is talking about how she just can't have sex with her husband. Like he's overall a good guy, like provides, does everything he needs to be, but I guess he's not like the most romantic dude, and so she just like cringes at the thought of sleeping with him, so she just goes out and bangs another dude for years on end instead. And I'm like, you don't you think though that whatever is causing this like physical divide between you and your husband is only being made worse by the fact that you're actively sleeping with someone else? Don't you think that might actually be like, I don't know, I'm kind of curious, and the whole chicken came first, like, or which came first, the chicken or the egg situation, like which of these is the chicken, which of these is the egg here, you know? Yeah, I think a lot of you guys in the chat are very team leave before cheating. I think most of us are. So, another common term or like piece of terminology within these cheater networks is going legit. It's even like one of the flares that you can use when posting to the subreddit is like when you get to announce that you're going legit. This is when you have successfully convinced your affair partner to leave their betrayed spouse for you, and now you get to like live in the light. You get to like crawl out of your hole and really let people know that like you're the real deal. So this next one is called This Is Why I Love When They Go Legit. This says, I guess I gotta shrink it down. Yeah, well, mine left his wife for me, but he damaged me so much in the process, I can't look at him the same. My heart screams for him, but he betrayed me, and every time I think about it, it sends me into a spiral. This sucks indeed. And it's kind of like, I hate to be Captain Obvious here, but what really else did you expect when you finally go legit with the cheater? And what's interesting is if you ever feel like developing brain rot and listening to the Other Woman podcast, you'll hear Chelsea herself discuss her own experience with this, like how even when her now husband finally divorced his ex-wife and they finally started dating, she was like sick with fear and insecurity that he was going to do it again. And it's like, I mean, how would you not feel that way? I feel like the only way that you could ever avoid those feelings is by just being completely delusional, by being like the most denial fueled human on the planet. But otherwise, that icky feeling in the pit of your stomach that's like, ooh, I'm dating someone who was cheating on their wife for like months to years on end. Wonder if he'll do that to me. Like, that's called your survival instinct. That's called pattern recognition. That's every single one of your neurons that your brain has been firing throughout itself and like building memories and patterns and all these things in every region of your brain for all these years has built up to teach you. That's your body telling you the realities and probabilities of the situation you're getting yourselves into. And they're like, when do you guys like stop feeling this way? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that there is a not zero population of people who started dating someone while they were actively cheating on someone else, and then they both of them just magically never ever cheated again. It probably can happen. Okay? I had to come from TikTok. The quality of your camera is insane. Yeah, please tell me more, because I like just got approved for TikTok. I can only imagine what a hot mess this is, especially since I'm streaming, horizontally here, and they're more of a vertical realm. I thought about doing a vertical live stream, but then I was like, you guys hate those. Okay. And there's going to be a few more gone legit ones. The only one I haven't figured out yet is there's one called D-Day, which at first I thought meant like divorce day, like the day they finally divorced the other one. But I think it might refer to like, I don't know, like D-Day when they stormed the beaches of Normandy, but it's also like maybe when they stopped talking to their affair partner. I'm actually going to try to Google this real quick. Jojo, thank you for the dono. Says, sorry for being late. Just got done from the dentist. RIP to my TMJ. Oh, lucky. I'm pretty sure I have TMJ. My jaw be hurting so bad, like right here. You know what I mean? Hurts so bad. So congratulations to you. Okay. In cheater context, what does D-Day refer to? Come on, ChatGPT, hook me up. Okay, r/infidelity has us. Does it stand for r/infidelity? Okay, so there are more cheater covens. Wait, what's their description? Welcome to the infidelity subreddit. We're sorry circumstances have brought you to us, but glad we can offer support. This is a place for those struggling with infidelity to ask questions and seek guidance. Okay, so this is another one of those like places that's trying to make infidelity seem like a neutral playing field. Like everyone who's involved is just kind of all the victim of this, like that all just is happening to us, like we're all innocent, it's another one of those places. They're just experiencing infidelity. They're not cheating on someone. They're not a cheater. Our support is focused on the victims. So if you are a perpetrator of infidelity, never mind, I was wrong. They're not. They clarify. So if you are a perpetrator of infidelity, then participate with care. Okay, good. Yes, good. Gobble them up and label them for what they are. The perpetrators. Okay. It refers to D-Day, the planned day of a military operation. Is that what D-Day has always stood for, is D-Day? It's funny because I was born on D-Day. I should know this. Why do you have D-Day 2? Is that another affair exposed or more information exposed? Thank you, trying to be less ignorant. For me, D-Day was the day my wife confessed to her emotional affair. D-Day 2 was the day 4 months after she confessed I found out the affair was ongoing. D-Day 3, okay, so they're basically just counting the amount of times that their partner like had to confess because they didn't stop. And then D-Day 3 was 4 days after D-Day 2. Disclosure Day. Discovery Day. Okay. Okay, so it's not necessarily the day of, like, them leaving, but it is. Wow, this makes the context of it all seem so much weirder, because I've been, like, reading these posts in, like, the OtherWomen subreddit, and they're all like, oh my god, it would be so awesome to get to D-Day, and, like, part of me was thinking, like, because I thought it was when they break up with their affair partner, I'm like, oh, that's good and kind of healthy of them to recognize that it would be healthy to end this relationship. But it's like so much more pathetic and pick me that they're like, oh, I can't wait for him to confess. I can't wait for him to confess because this means that obviously we'll just immediately get to start dating. And it's like, I don't really know if that's how it works. Like, let's be real, okay? A ton of people in relationships, in marriages, experience infidelity, either by way of having it happen to them, by way of perpetrating it, or sometimes there's mutual infidelity, quite frankly, a lot of times, you know? And as much as we think, like, surely all of those marriages end, a ton of them don't. I used to guess that maybe 7% of relationships could survive, like finding out that you've been cheated on. And since that includes relationships outside of marriage, I might still be closer to right. But in one survey that I found, speaking to everyone in marriages that did either experience infidelity or had it happen in some way, shape, or form, 25% of people who are still married to each other said that it had. So that's of marriages, I think it's actually incredibly common to try to push through it, for better or for worse. And one thing that I always stress to anyone considering forgiving a cheater is that it will only work if they do the work, right? Like if it is daily commitment, open phone policy, locations on, constant reassurance, doing everything you need to build that trust back. That's the only way it works. If they're passive about it, if they're ever like, isn't it time you're over this already? It's not going to work because it's going to take the rest of your marriage to get through infidelity. You know what I mean? John, thank you so much for the generous dono. Did you see the IGDM I sent of the woman who kicked out her husband for voting for Trump and now wants to F his friends as revenge? Always crazy eyes. We might have to check that one out, John. We might have to watch that one. Because, look, regardless of your politics, like spite boning never fully goes the way that you want it to. Like, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people would be fucked up by their girl or their guy boning one of their best friends under any circumstance. I've been covering a lawsuit where that is a very prevalent theme, so I think we can all agree that's a touchy subject. But like it's so stupid on the part of the person participating it and propagating that to be like, I'm gonna do this because yeah, you're gonna hurt the other person, but like you're gonna hurt yourself as well. Like pretty much any time that you engage in a sexual activity that you don't actually want to be doing, especially if you're only doing it for like a nefarious intention, like take the L. Like you played yourself. Like what happens now if like you get pregnant with that dude's kid? Oh yeah, you got him. You got him with this now lifelong commitment. What if you contract an STD that you have for life? Or just an STI that's really annoying? Like, will it still truly be worth it? I'm like, I, I don't know. Okay, so we've picked up on the slang. We know what D-Day is now. Discovery Day. This is so silly. Okay. This next one, they're calling her the Mary Sue of infidelity. So, if you're not familiar with the literature trope of a Mary Sue, you are, even if you haven't heard the title. So, a Mary Sue is a character, typically a girl, who just kind of shows up, has no real like personality or major special skills, but like for some reason, everyone is in love with her. Like, all of the guys are just like fighting over her, and she always seems to get her way, but she's also always like the victim of everything. You've seen the trope. The most common one that comes to mind is Bella from Twilight with like the vampire and the werewolf fighting over her. That's like the most common Mary Sue trope, I think. I would call this person the pick me queen of infidelity personally, and you guys know I do not use the term pick me lightly. But when it comes to cheaters, I mean like that's where the word originated from, is you literally want to be picked over another person. Yeah, Darren, and she's good at everything. That's the other thing. But what's so funny is like sometimes she's not. Like sometimes they make her like, oh, she's so clumsy. Oh, she's so clumsy. We have to help her. Like a lot of times she's like facing some kind of like medical ailment that they give her to like purposely like help victimize her, and yet like it never seems to fully stop her the way disabilities normally do. You think Rey from Star Wars? Okay, no, I can't get down that rabbit hole right now. We have to stay on task. Okay, so this is another adultery hate post analyzing an OtherWomen post. The OP says, of course, he sent her an itemized list of all the ways she's special. I guess I don't care to like read their commentary right now. I want to read the thing they're making fun of. Oh God. Okay, so I have to shrinky dink it down, I guess. So this is from a post from the OtherWomen. She says, he's just sent me a message saying Happy New Year to the most clever, attractive, funny, kind, and sexy lady he has ever known, whilst on a 2-day trip away with his wife and friends. And it's left me feeling like I'm a Julia Roberts character on Pretty Women. A hooker, as that is all he really needs me for. The only difference is that I know I'm not going to get my happy ending. Cue downward spiral. I tried to meet someone else and have been on 3 dates, but none of them gave me the butterflies. I know that unless I finish with my married man, I'm not going to be really open to allowing someone else into my heart. But my self-confidence is at an all-time low. His consistent texts and lovely words are the bright part of my day. Again, this all ties back into this common theme that you're going to notice. She wouldn't even fucking have those butterflies if he wasn't married. Truly, she's not getting the butterflies with other people because there's no competition. Like, she's the only one to be there. Like, in her mind, being told you're the most sexy woman I've ever met doesn't matter if there's no point of comparison. Like, there's gotta be something else. If some single guy tells that to you, it's like, yeah, because there's no one else that you could be referring to. But when a married man tells you you're the most sexy woman, it's like, sexier than your wife? Like, and that's so deeply pathetic. Hot take, Harry Potter is a Gary stew. Oh, that's the male version? Harry Potter actually is kind of a Gary stew. I don't think that that's like the least hot take. Yeah, because everything seems to just kind of happen to Harry. You're kind of right about that. You're actually right. I agree with you. Okay. Oh man. It's so funny too because it's like she literally recognizes that this is kind of just love bombing for the sake of like maintaining his infinite booty glitch. And yet she's like, but I like the fake words. Like, she had to add in that part of like, he's on vacation with his wife. He's supposed to be paying attention to her, and yet I win. I win. And like, you know how a lot of people are starting to point out that correlation between some of your most toxic exes having really unstable childhoods, and how we're starting to find this link between people becoming kind of addicted to chaos to the point that they don't feel comfortable unless they have it. Like they need that like dopamine hit almost of like the drama, so they kind of need it in every facet of their life. Like they become addicted to it. And with a lot of these people, it's like, I don't know, man. I think the reason that she's struggling to have a normal relationship is because she has this really weird dynamic that she's glamorized and built up so much in her head that like normie relationships just aren't cutting it anymore, and that's terrifying. Oh man, I want to point out this one from Cameo Stark too. In regards to the whole Mary Sue debate, um, it's ridiculous. I've seen a lot of romanticizing ADHD, OCD, and DID into a manic pick me dream girl, and I can't. There is a lot of that going on TikTok. Like Tumblr kind of started it, but like TikTok repoed it, dude. That's that's kind of true, to be honest. I will admit. Okay, this next one. An other woman becomes physically sick over her affair partner still liking his wife. Let's read. Going up Schitt's Creek, I found out that he's still very much so with his wife. Arm around her in Christmas photos, heart reacting to her profile pictures. She's got a family photo as her cover photo now. I found out only because he made a new social media account. He blocked me from hers. I am physically, or I mean, I think I said he made a new social media account. She made a new one. She gets blocked on all of them, so she has to make an alt. Perfectly understandable, perfectly reasonable. She says, I am physically sick over seeing it all. I loved this man so selflessly and believed every word he said. I had no reason not to trust him. I am disgusted. I am heartbroken. I don't know what to do. The other day, I thought was a great start for him to be on a much better path. I wonder, like, I would love more context for this. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I do feel bad for these people if they're straight up being lied to. Like, if they're being told he's not married, only to find out that he is, that's forked. But it sounds like you knew he had a wife, and I don't know, you just, like, think they're separating, which, like, if they tell you, oh yeah, I have a wife, but we're separating. 9 times out of 10, that is not the case, unfortunately. The other day I thought was a great start for him. Now I realize just how much I was used, lied to, and played like a fiddle. I ended everything between us out of guilt for his wife when I found out he hadn't filed. Now I feel a sense of obligation to tell her. I'm so in my head right now and just lost. Any advice is welcome. I kind of want to find this post in the actual, kind of want to find the original post here because I want to see the advice that the other woman give her. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find it by typing in money sign hit creek. Oh, please. It's gone. It's gone. It's out of there. I will say this though, one of the most common pieces of advice whenever the affair partners start to like absolutely spiral and they're like, I'm just gonna tell her. Though they're like, no, it's not your place. Don't. No. And like I get why you wouldn't want to, because a lot of times they don't believe you and they just blame you anyway and they like demand proof and rightfully so. But I don't know. What would you guys do? If you really didn't know, if you were dating somebody and you found out they were married, would you tell? Would you tattle? I need to set up one of those Twitch polls for this one. Jojo says, as someone with ADHD and attentive type and working as a translator, shit is not cute. I'm pretty sure like any kind of ADHD and doing anything, you know. My husband is technically disabled because he can only hear out of one ear, and one of his biggest pet peeves is people who use their disability or handicap or anything to like play out a system or like gain favor somehow. For example, like when he sees deaf people like playing up on their deafness even when they can completely understand a situation, or like I don't know, it's hard to say, or when people like fake or exaggerate their disorders is a better way of putting it. But he gets really pissed about that kind of stuff. You're deaf on one side? Yeah, which one? It's so funny. Yeah, his is on his left side, so I like now whenever I'm walking with people, I naturally walk to their right side no matter what, just out of like force of habit. I want to hear your responses to the question of whether you would tattle. A lot of you are on Team Tattle. Team Tattletale. I will say, I tattled once when I was in that situation. I was also like super young. I'm talking like this was high school bullshit. But yeah, I found out and I ended up telling her, and it did blow up in my face. Like, I was the one labeled like the slut, and I was the one who was the problem, and I was the one who was probably lying, and no one believed me anyway. And so, like, my reputation had to take a hit there. And after that, I was like, dude, I will never tell again if this ever happens to me. Like, that was so not worth it. But then, like, even though it has not happened to me since, I'm still like, I don't know, I probably would still tattle again. I probably would, honestly. Because, like, I think back on it and it's like, I tried. Because I don't know how guilty I would feel if I never tried, you know? I'd consider that a double cheat. Oh, yeah, you're right. I would be complicit at that point. You're right. Okay. Okay, let's see what's up next here on my cheater itinerary. This affair partner thinks that she deserves her friend's husband more than her friend does. Oh boy. This one looks like a long one. Let's pull this whole thing up. Sex with my friend of 15 years, and he's married. We've been friends for over 15 years. I'm really good friends with the wife and him. Always had a different connection with him because of our cultures. Recently, I don't even know how things changed. We started sending more messages than usual, sharing songs frequently. Ooh, those of you who know the sharing songs, that's y'all are in love, okay? That not some shit you do with just friends, okay? Like the only times that I ever am like sharing songs with friends is like if it's like a good breakup song. Like if I'm thinking of them during a breakup or like a workout song, maybe, but like if y'all are sending each other romantic ass fucking no Jason Derulo. No, y'all are in love, okay? It is that deep. I love this. Librarian says, you say, cheater, you have 1 week to make this right and tell your partner before I take this to DEF CON 1. I like that, giving them the opportunity to, you know? Philip Reed, thank you for the super chat. My beast friend. I'm sure you meant to say best, but I like that to think that your Guatemalan friend is also a beast. If he or his girl ever cheated on one another, I don't care how they'd seen me, I'd learn Spanish just to tell. Honesty is key. That is commitment, brother. You are committed. You care about you are their relationship insurance, quite frankly. So these two are in love, okay? They're sharing romantic songs. Disgusting. We started watching Corn together. All right, well, that'll definitely do it. Y'all have crossed the line fully while we text each other and did stuff to themselves. He came over and we did the thing. I'm so puzzled by all of this. I've never been the other woman, or I've never even allowed that to happen. I'm so confused by even seeing him again. He wants to. He also wants to keep talking, and so do I, but I also feel incredibly guilty. What drives a man to cheat? He has the perfect marriage. In some ways, I thought he was perfect and that he also vanished. Now I see him like he could easily lie to me too. We're starting to connect the dots here. Hold on, I'm actually gonna switch my screens over. This is almost better. Let me move this. Okay. Beauteous. He asked me what after this, our last encounter, and I said, nothing, there's nothing after this. You are married. He just nodded. I can't tell anyone. Everyone knows we are friends. I have no one to talk to about this. Give me y'all's opinions. Ask me questions. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Dude, this is how people become affair-brained. This is how people turn into Chelsea Smallwoods, as they truly get like so lost in like the chaos of this that like they become addicted to it. You notice that she was like, ask me questions. She thinks that this is like officially the most interesting thing about her. She's actually loving it, like high key. So these are like another thing that these people in Adultery Hate do is they piece together people's posts. They find them, they update them, they compile them into stories so that we can all watch the train wreck together. They give us updates on like well-known cheaters within the Other Women community. They're basically doing what this whole Chelsea Smallwood lawsuit is about. There was someone who Chelsea is accusing Kristen of being, and allegedly multiple people who created like this group that got into the her private Other Woman community, took everybody's stories, pieced them together, started finding out who was who, and then kind of made an expose website. Except for, since this is all public, we're all allowed to expose whatever we find publicly. So that's kind of like the interesting caveat here. I guess that's like the one additional layer of protection that Chelsea's group might be able to provide. Oh, it's been a while since we've had one of these. Oh my god, Barbecue for the Win says, day question marks of being Slavic. Basement is filled with pickled stuff. Don't know how it got there, but I know it'll stay. Shout out to non-cheating Harry's. Stop, because we really do be loving to pickle everything. I just recently discovered pickled cabbage. Ugh, I'm such a Slav, dude. I'm so Slavic because pickled cabbage is so goated. So this is another post. What drives a man to cheat? This one's been really boiling on her noodle. Being weak and selfish. Your situation is not unique. What's puzzling about this? He's a liar and a cheater. He's using you, and if it wasn't you, it would be someone else. You're not special, you're easy. It doesn't matter how long you've been friends. You're not friends anymore. You're his mistress, and you're betraying his wife. What's to wrap your head? Oh wait, this must be a comment responding to that. My bad. What's to wrap your head around? This didn't happen to you and you're not passive. You chose to engage in an affair. You're horrible. Tell his wife and cut contact with him. Okay, I do love when the adultery hate people do include comments from the original post. Because like most of them get insta-deleted so we don't get to see them. And then this is someone asking her, and I believe this is OP replying. Someone asks her, what drove you to have sex with this man knowing all of this? Knowing you'd be inserting yourself into this perfect marriage, knowing the betrayal, knowing that it wasn't anything real. What led you to knowingly cause so much hurt? She says, by no means is this an excuse nor a reason. Just the facts leading up to this, I guess. We've always had a great relationship, a deeper connection, in a way, and in another life view to our lives. Okay, can I just like stop? I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? This whole feeling you might feel with someone that you are not even able to date, where you're like, in another life, we would be so perfect, is literally projection. It's projection. It's daydreaming. It's so easy for you to say that. Don't you understand? It's so easy for you to say, well, I would be a better fit for this person than their wife, just from the outside looking in, having no idea what they're actually like in day to day outside of these like weird corn watching sessions. Like, how dare you? Let me read these super chat real quick. Jojo, as a Middle Easterner, pickled peach and mango are fire. Okay, I'm just now getting into the pickled fruits. I've been like the pickled veggies, nom nom, but like I just tried a pickled grape for the first time the other day, which pretty much just a grape. It's like 90% grape, 10% pickle. But okay, I'll be looking out for those, okay? Next time I go to the Euro shop, I'll take a peek. I'll see what we can do. So anyway, in another life, we started messaging, and what feels like overnight, feelings changed. One day I went to say goodbye and he hugged me, and suddenly I was very aware of the fact he was holding my waist, and after that I couldn't look him in the eyes. I like him and I enjoy our friendship. I enjoy being around him and I know it's mutual. We get each other. This was before anything changed. Oh my god, Barbecue for the Win. Thank you for another one. My IG algorithm was fine. One misclick, and now a lot of similar men cheat when in the perfect marriage posts keep flooding me. Make it stop. I think that there is some truth to that. And this is something that I've brought up a lot when covering cheating content, especially when kind of rebutting a lot of Chelsea's famous talking points of, she hates the idea that like people cheat with what's easy. But I really do think that the majority of the time that men choose to cheat. It's, I find her attractive, I have the opportunity, and I genuinely do not think I'll get caught. And when that perfect tornado comes together, beginning with the confidence gained from even being in a marriage to begin with, it can be the perfect shit show. Like, any married man will tell you, they get hit on way more when the ring goes on. Can't fully explain it, but there are a lot of studies that show that women are more guilty of mate poaching due to the fact that these are men who have been vetted by another woman, making them more biologically attractive in a way. And there's a lot to be said for the fact that men get this newfound confidence when they're able to marry a woman. I mean, in a way, as they should, right? Like, you should be proud. Like, you should be like, that's my wife, you know? Like, I love being able to be like, my husband. Like, I love to call him TJ just to honor his autonomy, but it's like, that's my husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of that's normal, and a lot of people get that a huge surge of confidence from it. So it's like you're feeling confident on top of the world as a man because you were able to pull this beautiful wife. And like, from all points, I mean, there's also research that shows that when men get married, they do better in their careers. So everything's probably coming up Millhouse for these guys. They have some more respect than they've ever had, more stability. That women tend to statistically contribute tons of value to your domestic home as far as the cleaning, the cooking, all the kinds of stuff that us women folk tend to be really good at. And same with men, by the way. My husband has definitely helped a lot with the cooking department, okay? And obviously I would have a lot more chores to do if he wasn't helping out with them. You know what I mean? There's a lot to be gained from it. Now you add on the fact that women are more attracted to you because you have a wife, because you have a ring, because it would fulfill their deepest fantasies to be picked over a bride. Now you've got hussies throwing themselves at you. And if you have any means to get away with it, especially in these perfect relationships where the wife already trusts him, she's not checking his phone, she's not checking his friends list, her hackles are not raised at all, that's the easiest time to cheat. I hate to say it, this is by obviously me not excusing it. I just think that's how the tornado starts, you know what I mean? ZOMG is fine. No need for the full legal name. All right, I will stop using your full birth name that your mother gave you of Oh My God Barbecue for the win. Wide-Eyed Fox, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Says, X was cheating with a married man who was just a friend. After telling my mom why we broke up, she sobbed so much she had a heart attack. Oh, your mom did. I was like, oh my God, your girlfriend was so guilty she had a heart attack? That's crazy. But your girlfriend killed your mom? Hold on. We need to take a minute. Okay, nothing I prepared in my itinerary, I think, compares to Wide-Eyed Fox's super chat that he just dropped on me like an epic bombshell. Look at me acting like it happened to me. You're the one still traumatized. Jesus, Lauren. Let me just hit myself with the no bottle. So why would she do that? Why did she tell your mom? Did your mom find out before you did? I have so many questions. Your girlfriend killed your mom, dude. Is that by any chance prosecutable? Like, come on, that's gotta be like how am I forgetting the name for it when you accidentally kill someone? What's the word for accidental murder? I'm an idiot. What is it called? It's manslaughter. I can't believe I forgot that. Your girlfriend manslaughtered your mom. Your cheating girlfriend manslaughtered your mom. See, this is why I'm not here for it when people are like, well, cheaters are just as much a victim of the circumstance as the betrayed spouses. Nah, because a lot of things could have been prevented here. A lot of things. Like, you could have avoided the cheating. You could have... Why did you even have to tell mom? I mean, like, I guess she just was trying to take accountability and get it off her chest or something. Oh, whoopsie daisy. God damn it, Z. That's... Yeah, that's pretty forked up, I gotta say. Dude. But I don't know. I don't think any judge would probably take that seriously, unfortunately. I'm in the same position regarding Wide-Eyed Fox? What? How in the fucking world could there be this happen 2 times? Like, I can understand it happening once, but 2 times? It's a whole epidemic? Alright, hold on. I gotta fix my eyelash. It's bothering me. I'll be back, but I'll be back with an animal. I'll make it up to you guys. It's all getting wonky. It's distracting me. It's probably just a me thing, but okay. Now where's the party? I cannot believe this is being tolerated, but okay. Alright, I found a cat, everybody. Cat tags. This one is called the Catelia. She is ordinarily our sassiest cat, like the most prone to violence, but recently our 7-year-old has completely converted her, like absolutely turned her into a lap cat who is capable of enduring the absolute most annoying 7-year-old behaviors. I'm very proud. Yeah, I love you guys blowing up the chat with the cat emotes. I knew I could rely on you for this. Oh man, I forgot to show you this other one from Cheaters Confronted that's absolute cringe. This one says, let's test him. I know for 100% fact that he wouldn't cheat, but growing up with my dad cheating on my mom all the time, making sure wouldn't hurt. Looking for a girl to flirt hard and put him to the test. Honey, you already know 100% fact. What do you need Reddit for? They immediately start calling her out for this, though. Your insecurity is showing. We men call this a shit test, and he deserves better than you. Some insecure teenager BS. But it's so funny because I actually have an entire video talking about this business. It's called the honey potting business. And there's like tons of websites that you can go to hire both men and women to essentially like catfish your spouse into finding out if they would cheat on you, theoretically. It's kind of deranged, but also if you want to get into the business of catching cheaters, they're always hiring. There's a lot of different types for cheaters to have, so you might fulfill one of the type categories, okay? ZOMG, thank you for another one. The casual serotonin boost from simple appreciation, unusual for men, gives a lot of energy. The relationship glow up isn't rocket science. Yeah. Going back to the whole thing about like when men get married, they get like a whole new level of confidence. And with great power comes great responsibility, you know? With great chaddom comes great responsibility. Ooh. Is what would happen to Destiny? He might have gotten honeypotted. He really might have, quite frankly. I think that's a very strong possibility. So wait, where were we? I think we were still in the middle of reading one of these. But I gotta find it. I opened too many tabs. Boop. There we go. Because there was still more to go. All right. So then she also says the cheater, or the other woman, I guess. I don't know if they've had a conversation about open marriage. She's always very, very open-minded, and I wouldn't put it past her, but I don't know. I have so many questions, and I don't want to get the answers from him because that would involve messaging or seeing each other. Here is a pro tip. If you are sleeping with someone who is married or in a relationship, and like neither of them have ever explicitly said, we're poly, we're ethical non-monogamous, we're in an open relationship, then you assume they are not. This is the thing that like bugs me is I have literally no issue with polyamory, polygamy, ethical non-monogamy for those who are actually practicing it correctly. But like to assume that any marriage would be open is so counterintuitive. Like, you realize, like, the whole reason we put the rings on each other's fingers is to literally call fucking dibs. That's what that is. Is like when TJ put this on my finger, it was to be like, mine. When TJ wears his ring, it's to let other people know, like, this already taken. Like, you can't have it. That's what it's supposed to signify. And so anything else needs to be very clearly communicated. And here's the thing, people who are poly are like vegans. You're gonna know. You will know. They will tell you. You will not be left in the dark about that. It will be such a glaringly loud part of their personality that you won't have to wonder. Okay? Let me just give you that piece of advice. That if there is anything I can tell you with absolute certainty, it's that right there. Okay? So if you're like, I don't know, I mean, she seems really open-minded. I'm very open-minded. I feel like I'm an incredibly open-minded person. You know, I talk to people on all sides of the political spectrum. I have drank from the pools of all religion. I am so open to criticism and having my beliefs challenged. That said, no, you do not get to use my husband's penis under any circumstances. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's for me. That's mine. It was built for this. Okay? I'm not gonna apologize for that. You can call me possessive. You can call me bound by patriarchal constructs. I'm a strong, independent woman, okay? And that's mine. All right? So just, but look, like, I will say this. Okay, I will say this. Some of you know this part of my past. In my past, I actually was a voluntary secondary partner in a poly relationship, I guess. I wouldn't call it a polycule because me and the other partner like never interacted. But it was like literally one of those things where, you know, I was kind of vibing with this dude, but he tried to make a move on me and I was like, wait, I am under the impression that you have a girlfriend. And he was like, yeah, but it's an open relationship. She's 100% cool with this. And I'm like, I do not believe you. I need to hear that from her. And literally the next day, they both put on Facebook in an open relationship. And she was like, no, it's literally cool. So I was like, all right. So for a while, I got to have all the benefits of being single while being in a relationship. And I did at the time think it was very cool. And there actually were no jealousy issues because everything was communicated up front. But ultimately, it didn't last because I wanted an end goal of like monogamy. So I was kind of just like being a single person, basically. I was just being single. I was dating somebody while dating other people. You know what I mean? So like, even though, yeah, technically you could call it like a secondary poly partner, I would just call it being single, quite frankly. But they had a whole hierarchy going. Khadija, thank you so much. I hope I'm saying your name right, but Miss Shannon Watkins. As soon as I got married, more dudes came trying to get with me and asking me if my marriage was open. Dude, yeah, no, that's a thing. That's a thing. The second you announce that you're married or in a happy relationship, as soon as they can like sense the oxytocin coming off of you, they just start coming out of the woodwork. Look, if any of you guys are single and you're like having a hard time finding somebody, just start wearing a ring. Just see what I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, because then you'll attract the weird pick-me's who want to compete, and you don't want that. That was 100% a joke. Anyway. Okay, so she's trying to like delude herself further by being like, well, maybe the wife is okay with it. She's not. The other commenter says, okay, but that still doesn't answer any of the questions. You just talk about physical awareness and everything changing. Is that supposed to be why you decided to hurt another person? You admit you don't know about their relationship status. I'm sure she would have told that he would have told you if they were open. Exactly. So I don't know if that's just something you say to make yourself feel better or what. You should let her know and see what she says if you want to actually know. Yeah, what a novel idea, right? Like if you think that your friend might be in an open marriage, just ask her, see what happens, see if anything gets weird. This one says, what drives men to cheat? Easy access. To which she gets so mad. Dude, every other woman in the world gets so pissed when you suggest that they're the side piece because it's easy. Are you attempting to call me easy? You are not offending me. Clearly, I wanted to have sex with him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. That's why I'm here. Did you not read the rules of the community? Yeah, right. No, like, you can both be right on that. You want to be easy. Hope that helps. Right. Yeah, I agree with you. You want to be easy and you're happy with that. I agree that you consent to being easy. No one's saying you're easy by accident. It's not very much on purpose. She also bites back with the whole argument of like, how dare you not be women supporting other women? Didn't you notice that I'm women? You should support me in everything. Let me guess, all of these comments are from women. There's nothing mean y'all can say that I haven't already thought about. If you're trying to hurt me or make me feel like shit, sorry, it won't happen. Is that why y'all are here in this community, to read about affairs and bully people? Your comments don't change what already is. So wait, like, I don't understand. Is it bullying or is it them reiterating the exact same thoughts and feelings that you yourself are going through regarding the matter? So you've thought those same things about yourself, but it's bullying when other people say them out loud to you. So what you really want is an echo chamber. That's what all these women really want. This is how I can like prove almost that the women who go to these other women communities are not looking to heal or end toxic patterns. They're looking to be validated. That's all. Wide-eyed fox. Oh, you're back. You're back. I'm sorry. I'm glad I didn't scare you away with my cruel jokes. I was the one telling my mom as she was worried about me. It happened in front of me, single ever since. Oh. So you killed him, Chef. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I can't even finish that joke. I'm sorry. My dark humor flew way too close to the sun on that. Okay, you didn't kill your mom, Wide-Eyed Fox. Obviously, you were just trying to open up about something that happened to you. I still put all of the blame on your cheating ex, quite frankly. But also, I hope that that does not deter you in the long run from dating. There are a lot of cheaters out there, but that does not, like, there are kind of ways. There are red flags, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who were cheated on, didn't you, like, kind of get the red flags ahead of time? You know, yeah, I get the no bottle for that one, Ray. Ban me. Yeah, ban Lauren, honestly. Ban me from this chat. I'm the worst. That's some gallows humor. You could see, like, my brain fighting me and being like, don't, Lauren, don't say that out loud. And then I started to anyway. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just trying to keep us all laughing. Oh man, wait, was Darren making terrible puns too? Ah, I don't even get it. Dang it. I think I missed something. I'm I'm sorry, chat. Okay, let's get back into it. So anyway, here she is being like, "You're not girls," or whatever. To which someone else says, "Oh, honey, it's cute that you think you can dismiss all the comments from women as just mean-spirited bullying. Let's break this down, shall we? You chose to share your story on Reddit, a platform where the community is known for its unfiltered opinions. So, deep down, you had to have wanted some kind of reaction. Validation, sympathy, or maybe just a little drama to spice up your life. If you really wanted to keep this under wraps, you could have shut it down long before the whole affair escalated into a soap opera. Yeah, the whole zero upvotes here is also quite telling. Wow, I want to read what this person has to say about this. Let's talk about that post-nut clarity. Sure, men might have those moments where they think, hey, this seems like a fun idea, but let's not pretend you were just an innocent bystander in this scenario. You didn't just stumble into this mess, you actively participated. You knew he was married, and yet here you are, playing the part of the homewrecker. Don't be acting surprised when the consequences start to rain down. And let's be real, you might think you're untouchable now, but you're not just some passive character in this drama. You've got a role to play, and it's not the innocent victim. Thank you, God, because do they ever try? Do these cheaters ever try to play innocent victim? You made choices that are going to contribute to someone else's heartbreak and the unraveling of a marriage. So while you might brush off the comments as merely mean, they reflect the reality of the situation you willingly stepped into. You say you won't feel bad about it, but that sounds a lot like a defense mechanism. It's easy to put on a brave face and act like you're unaffected when, deep down, you know you're part of a messy web of emotions and eventually consequences. You say you've thought it all through, but if that were truly the case, why engage in this drama at all? Get them! I love adultery hate. That's what I'm saying. It's like there is no way to filter out the adultery hate members from coming into the other woman community. You just can't. Let me shrinky dink this one down. At the end of the day, it's about accountability. You had a choice and you made it. So instead of deflecting the blame and hiding behind a wall of sarcasm, maybe consider the impact your choices have had on others. It's not just about who you are anymore, it's about the lives you're entangled with. So while you might want to play the victim here, remember, every action has consequences and you're not exempt from that truth. I always say there's three things that always come out: the moon, the sun, and the truth, you know? And it's also so funny watching the tone change as this progresses, right? Because when she first started posting this, she was like, I can't even believe I'm here. Like, I was friends with the both of them, and it really seemed like they had the perfect marriage. And like, I really can't help it that like we just have this powerful connection through our shared culture. Like, I feel so bad. And then the second people are like, you should feel bad because you're doing something horrible, she's like, you guys are just a bunch of bitches. Oh my God. Now here she posts again. This question is haunting her. Why do men stay? If you have an affair partner that you truly, truly connect with, you swear she's your soulmate and she makes you feel all the things you've never felt, why do you choose to stay with your wife? Especially since you know she hasn't made you feel anything like this in 19 years. It's obviously not just men that says this, but in this situation, this is what applies. You're doing this to a 20-year marriage, and you're trying to validate it by claiming that in all these 20 years, you're the first one to ever give him the real butterflies. You're his real soulmate. These last 20 years, he just was, I don't know, kicking the can, I guess. And the wife is just supposed to, for the last 20 years of her life that she's built up with this man, go, I mean, if that's how you feel, yeah, sure. Go off with her. Wide-eyed fox. I'm sorry. Again, it's fine. I've worked through it. Dark sense of humor, too. There were signs. I paid an investigator and uncovered the truth. PI is on speed dial now. Dude, that's so insane. I would love to interview someone who's hired a private investigator because I'm so curious to know, like, how they find what they find, like, how exactly they go into it. Because obviously they can't, like, read their text messages and stuff. I'm wondering how they do that. So curious. So curious. But good job on you, because hiring a private investigator is, I'm pretty sure, illegal, whereas going through people's stuff is technically federally a crime. You did it all on the up and up, man. I mean, only to find out something tragic. You could have saved money and lived in denial. Think about that. Oh my God. She posted this after she's only been hooking up with this dude for a month. This person says because they're lying. And they have a beautiful at-home life. So true. Oh, so true though. Oh my God. 1 month of sleeping with a man who's been married for 20 years and she thinks she's his true, genuine soulmate. No wonder Chelsea is getting these broads to pay her like hundreds of dollars a year. No wonder. Because it's not easy to go the free route. As it turns out, when you post for free online that you're helping a man who's been married for 20 years cheat on his wife, who by all accounts is pretty innocent and seems to just be doing a good job providing for him, turns out people don't respond well to that. Turns out even in a judgment-free zone, you're gonna get judged. Hmm. If you paid for the phone and the plan, you're legally allowed to go through texts. Well, that's where it's debated in federal court, actually. I've heard some cases make that argument successfully, and others that have not. So it's hard to say. And this next one, this is so funny. This one I found myself in the other woman, not through AdulteryHate, so this is going to be my own commentary on this. So this was posted with the flare Gone NC, and that stands for no contact. This one's really funny because the affair partner basically is angry that the married man did what she told him to do. Let's read. I went on a solo trip, and before I took off, he told me he loved me. I told him I don't want to hear that from him as long as he is married. He said okay and told me to have a safe journey. Well, when I arrived and he didn't text me at all. He saw that I was active on my socials and he had looked at my stories, but no text at all. I came back from the vacation and he had blocked me on one of his business accounts. Still no text. I created a private Instagram because the other one had work-related stuff and he didn't send me a follow request. All good though. Continued ignoring me, and the only time he texted was to say something about a work-related thing, giving me advice. God, they always meet these people through work. I said thanks, and he gave a thumbs up. And then I found out there was a big event he had organized and invited all the people from one of the circles we share. A work circle by any chance? But not me. It was in his city, and I had told him before I didn't like it because his wife is there, so obviously not getting the invite was just, I cried a lot. It was a huge trigger. I had to hold myself together. Is he punishing me for sticking with my boundaries? We haven't met for 1.5 months because I told him I didn't want to meet as long as he hasn't even initiated divorce proceedings or moved out. I know he's not good for me, and I'm honestly trying to forget it, but it's hard. He was looking for a new job and told me that it would be a great new start for us, but now I can only imagine that he was future faking, and I guess he'll be moving with his family to wherever the new job is. The only upside is that it means I hopefully won't have to see him again. Fingers crossed that he moves to a different state. I told him that I don't like this place that he goes to because his wife goes there. And I also told him not to talk to me as long as he's married. And now he's not talking to me. I guess he wants to stay with his wife. Oh, my heart goes out to these people. This is so terrible. People who are keeping track, by the way, to answer your question, Aaron. Aaron asks, for 1.5 months, who says it like that? Again, people who are counting the days. Like, people who are addicted. People who are addicts, dude. People who desperately need to be picked to be validated. That's who. 1.5 months of not being chosen over his wife. And she's down bad. She is literally, but truly, seriously, is he punishing me? Is he punishing me for choosing to stay faithful to his wife instead of pursuing me, his side piece? I mean, really, like, try to be objective for a second. What's worse, that he punishes you by not cheating on his wife, or that he punishes his wife by cheating on her? Decisions, decisions. Oh my god. Truly, like, these side pieces don't realize the second they start making things difficult, he's just gonna go on to someone easier, you know? You made things difficult, that's your fault. This next one is 100% also how Chelsea has a business. Like, this one right here, posted to the other woman. My therapist wants us to break up. Aren't therapists just the worst? Don't they always just try to ruin all of our fun? So I told my therapist I was seeing my, I love that they say my married man. Ma'am, the fact that you have the word married in here means that there is no my. I'm sorry, but that is not your man who is married to another woman. That's crazy. My married man. Yeah, and the money that I spent on Amazon is my money still now that I've spent it. Yeah, that's the way it works. What? And my therapist ordered that I break up with him. Now, on one hand, I can understand where she's coming from. My previous married man experience was very toxic, with a huge power imbalance, so she's paranoid it'll happen again. What did I tell you guys? It's an addiction to the chaos. It's a repeated pattern of behavior where they cannot comprehend a life of normalcy. God forbid they date a normal dude who eats the same ham sandwich every day for lunch and then pasta for dinner, has worn the same work shoes for the last 15 years, just wears regular Levi's, doesn't change his hairstyle. God forbid that day ever comes. They're addicted to the dopamine hit of potentially being chosen over another woman. That's what they're addicted to. Yes. My therapist emailed me a list of ways to break up with him and a date to do it by. Safe to say it's been weeks since that date passed, and I just postponed our next session. I have no idea what to do. I never want to see her again because I love him and I'm an adult who should get to make my own decisions. I know affairs aren't the healthiest situation. Jesus Christ, she's making it sound like eating a piece of cheesecake after dinner. Like, I shouldn't, but I deserve to treat myself. It's an affair. It's not a piece of cheesecake, lady. Like, people get murdered over these things. Bruh. But my God, it's not her place to order me what to do like that. I just know she's going to be disappointed next time we meet. And this is why people pay Chelsea money. I gotta agree, though. I actually do agree that the therapist was kind of out of line for giving a due date. That was a bit much. I don't know if it's worked in the past for her, like, but especially with people who already are predisposed to these chaotic themes, they're generally pretty anti-establishment is another fair part of like the patterns that I recognize in these people. And so like being directly told what to do is not going to work because every person who is having an affair with a married person knows they shouldn't be doing it. They know they wouldn't like it if someone did it to them, but they for some reason think that it's like a cute rebellion against authority to just proceed on anyway. So now she's gonna make herself the victim of her therapist's very good advice, I guess. Another day, another way to lose all hope in humanity. No, Victor, sorry. She's having an affair with someone else's husband. MM stands for married man. That's like one of the little acronyms on here. She's considered the AP, the affair partner, or the OW, the other woman. That's why I find it so funny when they say my married man. I'm pretty sure that he is his wife's married man, and that you are a person desperately trying to get in the way of that. Yeah, cheesecake is pretty almighty, actually. Now I want to go get Cheesecake Factory. What have you guys done? What have you done? I did run a 5K today. If there's any day that I deserve some cheesecake, it might be today. So for this next one that we're gonna go over, do you guys want to watch while a bunch of cheaters deny that cheating lacks consent from all parties? I thought that it was obvious that when cheating is occurring, the consent of all parties involved is not there. But apparently, this is a very common argument made by cheaters that, well, they're both adults who are consenting to having sex with each other. So just because they're not supposed to be doing that doesn't mean that they lack consent. Let's let's read here. Let's read here. So this cheater says grown consensual adults having spicy DMs. To which anti-cheater replies, except it's not consensual if one of the adults has a partner already. Sure, two people are consenting, but one of them is already dating or married to someone else who has no clue about it and is being taken advantage of, therefore making it paradoxically not consensual. Oh, let me read this from Meth Bear. Now you have to perform a formal exclusivity ceremony while dating, or your SO can hook up with randos even after being together for a year. So bad. No, that's really sad, actually. I've had to tell people that, like, when you first start dating someone, you actually do need to clarify early on if the relationship is open or closed. Because it's, like, terrifying how many people are like, yeah, I want you to be my girlfriend. And then you're like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. And then you find out that they're, like, dating three other girls, and you're like, what the hell? And you're like, oh, I didn't know you wanted to be a closed relationship girlfriend. You should have said something. So the cheater argues, no, this is incorrect. A third party does not have to consent to how you use your body for it to be consensual. What I do with my body does not rely on your consent, even if we're in a relationship. You're mixing up basic concepts of consent slash freedom and boundaries. Even though you are in a relationship with someone, it does not mean they have to consent for you to use your body. You're allowed to have boundaries, like if you do X, then I won't be in the relationship with you. It does not mean that it's non-consensual. Sorry, I gotta make that bigger. I didn't mishandle you by sleeping with someone else. But I disagree, though. I actually disagree. I do believe that it's not like directly non-consensual, we'll call it grape adjacent. But if there was a grape umbrella, I would 100% put cheating underneath that umbrella because there's so many ways that it can go wrong. Like, if you're sleeping with two people at once and one of them doesn't know about it and believes that you're under the agreement that there will be no other messes being brought into your agreed upon unit, then yeah, I think that that's a form of it, quite frankly. Sent you an email a bit ago that is a double cheat. Okay, Samantha, okay. We might have time for that. We might have time for that. I'm like crashing through this really fast, actually. Let me see. Where were we? And yeah, the whole you're allowed to have boundaries thing, like, that's ridiculous. If we agree not to sleep with other people, then yeah, obviously the boundary is that I get to break up with you if you sleep with other people, but I shouldn't have to wait until you do it to break up with you, right? That's crazy. You do not control somebody else's body. Sorry. What you're arguing for is disgusting and anti-freedom. Don't you guys get it? It is disgusting and anti-freedom, and you're actually taking advantage of cheaters' bodies when you don't let them cheat. Yeah, I might have told you that you're not allowed to cheat on me, but you're actually a patriarchal oppressor by trying to control my body and not let me cheat. The spin on this is wild. What you are arguing for is how we get stuff like abortion being illegal. You realize that, right? Oh, brother, she's trying to co-opt the entire pro-choice movement to be like, my body, my choice. Like, right. I completely agree with you, your body, your choice. That's why you have the choice to agree to monogamy or not. And if you don't want to be monogamous, you have the choice to not agree to it. But to be like, I have the choice and the freedom to cheat on people if I want to is literally like psychobabble word salad to the highest degree. This anti-cheater says, isn't the whole point of a relationship to have consent? If you're seeing other people unannounced, that's non-consensual. If you both decided to be monogamous or have a poly thing and you're breaking the trust, it's non-consensual. Yeah, you can do what you want. If you're unfaithful, you're shitty. Simple as that. There's a thing called human decency where we don't cheat on our partners, even if we could, because it's not morally right. Also, your whole boundaries thing can be summarized back to what I said in my first point. Thanks for putting words in my mouth. You went from 0 to 100 with that, quite frankly. It's disgusting to me because I didn't talk about owning someone's body or abortion at all. You're the one who did that. You cheating is non-consensual. Read my first reply to you on why. Even if it's not illegal, it's still morally wrong. The lady has been reading The Brain Rot, The Ethical Slut. I bet that book isn't what we think it's about. The Ethical Slut. That's probably about ethical non-monogamy. It's probably about someone who just gets mad laid but is like openly communicative about it, which like I can't be mad about. Like I'm really not a person who like goes nuts on like body count or like purity culture or anything like that, but like you got to have the baseline consent of all parties. All parties, okay? Man, the spin that some of these cheaters go through though, it like again, I understand how Chelsea has a business. It's because these cheaters genuinely want like a more private place to discuss their game plans basically without being told to end the game plan, while simultaneously like how can I improve the rhetoric that I'm using so that I can be the true victim in this? So they gotta pay, you know, they gotta pay for these things. Here's another good one from AdulteryHate. Cracking up at this commenter's advice to get over an affair. So this post reads, finally no contact. We broke up while he was away, came back and we saw each other and continued to argue. We'd still text, but he would breadcrumb me. Finally today, I told him no mas, I can't be friends. Now, all I feel is a huge emptiness. So this cheating commenter says, it sucks, I know, but it will pass. You'll find a way to fill the emptiness. It could be a new affair or cooking classes. Oh my God, the way they view affairs as being equal to a cooking class, the way like they literally compare betraying your spouse by opening up another dangerous and toxic side fling to the same as like, well, have you considered some nature walks? Oh my God. Hey, Sim, good to see you. Mama always said you have sex with someone, or Mama always said you have sex with everyone your partner's having sex with. So what if I don't want to have sex with your lover? Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. People don't even understand, even without STIs, STDs, and pregnancies, like you can also still spread like yeast infections, get bladder infections from each other, dude. You don't want to muddy those proverbial waters, okay? But this also comes back to my theory that whenever people say positive vibes only, they're probably the most toxic people you've ever met in your entire life. Like, wow. You know, I was actually thinking of taking some cooking classes, but I might just do an affair, you know? Apparently, it's the same level of self growth and healing. Also, HPV. Yeah, 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 yeah. Not all of us got those injections in middle school, but I did. HPV immune, baby. Mm hmm. Slipknot. Oh my god, that's exactly right. I remember that. I remember when Just Furly Things compared a man cheating to a handshake. No, it's clearly not, though. It's clearly not, though. But I'm so happy for her that when she finally finds a man to actually date her, which we're still waiting on, I'm so happy that she will not mind if she gets cheated on. Honestly, more power to her. That's great. Oh my god. Yeah, the advice the cheaters give each other is so far the funniest part of this. Like, oh, honey, you're going through the heartbreak of your affair ending. You could start another one, girl. Like, your husband clearly is bad at noticing. Jesus. So how about this one? How about when the married man introduces his affair partner to his kids? I've heard of these scenarios. I've heard of people cheating, like, basically right in front of their kids, like really thinking the kids aren't gonna tattle or bribing the kids not to tattle or something, but like that is some next level audacity, dude. New low. Married man using kids to get in one last sexy sex with a desperate woman. She didn't have a screenshot, so she did a copy pasta. Says, a few days ago, my ex-married man unblocked me and asked to speak in person. Invited me to dinner close to where we both live, which is out of character for him. I had a weird feeling about it, and when I entered the restaurant, he approached me from his table and immediately introduced me to his young kids. Bro, not like straight up blindsiding her with the kids, too. This is psycho. Sergio, thank you. Can I suggest changing their species name to Homo stultutus? Did you mean to say Homo stultus? It means dumb man or dumb human. They don't deserve to wear the homo flag. As I think just as humans, we shouldn't claim them in general. New level of degen incoming. New degen appears. The degen levels are over 9,000. So he springs his young children on her, which, like, how in the are you explaining this one? Dear God. I was incredibly surprised and confused. The dinner was enjoyable as his kids were friendly and familiar and honestly fun. He said he wanted to apologize for blocking with no explanation. This is all in front of the kids. He's literally like, hey kids, you're gonna meet a friend of daddy's while I apologize to her for not speaking to her. And yeah, this might have something to do with my mommy's been really mad at me lately. But look, just trust daddy, okay? Oh no, not the sexy sex. Yes, the sexy sex, Lauren. He did come over without warning a few hours later, and we talked some, but ended up being intimate. Oh, so he had to drop the kids back off to his wife. So he... This is so weird. I'm done with the negative emotions and simply shared that I'm respectful and steady and anyone in my life needs to be the same. I don't even know what I want at this point, to be honest, but while I'm choosing not to read into this whole dinner, I have no idea of how crazy this type of behavior is. I am single and have begun dating. Has anyone here introed your kids to your AP? And if so, why? That's a great question, dog. Actual scum of a father. I agree. This is sordid, to put it lightly. Do you think that he, like, was using the kids as almost like a you can't leave now It'll be awkward. That'll be the awkward part. But like, oh my God, how do you explain any of this? Hey, I'm taking the kids out to dinner, and then you drop the kids off while you go over to go bone your side piece. Meanwhile, mom's at home with the kids, and she's like, wait, you went out to dinner with a lady? With one of daddy's friends? What? And he's just in Pound Town. This is like Alzheimer's behavior. Like, this is literally something that a person who has no concept of what year it even is would do. Much less, like, a grown man. Like, if he had a brain tumor, that's the only way that could explain this. But, oh my God. She loved being the side piece, and now the mommy is moving out. She doesn't want to be anything. I don't think the mom is moving out. That's the thing. He literally was just like, sorry, I blocked you. Things were getting, kind of hairy there, but don't worry. Luckily, I'm going to really speed things down by inviting you out to dinner with my children. That's a dinner those kids will not be forgetting anytime soon. Oh my Lanta. That one's bad. That one's really bad. I also love how these women do not understand the concept that, like, yeah, you're dating someone who's married, so they're probably not a good person, and it takes like multiple other instances for it to click that, like, the married man that they're dating behind their wife's back might not be a good person. But here's another example of that. Jojo says, you know what? I'm gonna eject myself from the human race, to be honest. Yeah, let me just... Phew! Alright, we're out of here. This other woman says, I was sold a lie. This situation is so difficult, and I wish I had someone to lean on or speak to in real life. But that's the catch of being a mistress, I guess. I did the unthinkable and went through his phone. That's the unthinkable part? Not sleeping with a married man? Oh, but you betrayed his trust. Oh, that's where you crossed the line. Jack, I know Alzheimer's is worse. Oh, you're saying they're worse than your dad with mid-stage Alzheimer's. Oh my God, that's saying something, Jack. Holy shit. She says, I go through his phone after peeping a message that flashed across the screen. Shoot me. The reason my interest was piqued is I clearly saw wife's name and the words, you effing see you next Tuesday. Oh, that's not a respectful way to talk to your wife. And so out of character. He seems like such a respectful toward his wife kind of cheating man. You know what I mean? That's so crazy to find out that he disrespects his wife. Golly, shock and awe. I casually asked if everything was okay. His demeanor was unbothered, jovial, truly happy. He said, yes, of course, honey, just wife checking in. The reason this made the hairs on my neck stand up is that it was a total lie. But also, why? I'm under the impression that all is well with a don't ask, don't tell policy. He's so happy, etc., etc. They have a lot of kids and have been together since high school. Picket fence, the whole 9 yards. Couple goals on steroids because I truly thought they were in such a real relationship that they accepted each other to that degree. He is well liked in the community, and from what I can gather, so is she. I accepted his version because I thought it was understandable they keep a discreet lock on their sexual activities, an open marriage living in a small town. That's very convenient. And what's scary about that is that I do know that don't ask, don't tell, ethical non-monogamy arrangements do exist. But, like, man, how do you, like, prove that? How do you make sure? Because there's probably a lot more where they don't exist. And that's just something they tell you to be like, yeah, I'm allowed to do this, but just don't tell my wife because she doesn't want to hear about it. Like, that either is real or not real. And, like, how are you supposed to know as either the other woman or a legal second party participant in an open relationship? Like, how are you supposed to really know? Simi says, this is one Jack's mom learned: never share stuff with your young kids if you don't want them to share it with everyone else. That's something every parent learns, dog. Like, I literally, I, I can't do nothing. I cannot do nothing. My kid is telling everybody my business. She, my animals are knocking stuff over. She's like, yeah, I woke up early and heard mommy and daddy being really loud in the bedroom. I think mommy had a headache. Like, can you not? Can we not tell this story actually? We don't have to tell this story. You could just sleep. Just sleep. You don't have to worry about it. Zomg says, read a story where someone asked the girlfriend to sit the dog while he went out and cheated. I hate my Instagram algorithm now. Some of these cheating stories are truly horrifying. Like the next level duplicity these people engage in. Terrifying. Oh yeah, I also worked in a daycare once and the tea was incredible, especially the kids whose parents were like actively divorcing. Oh, I knew everything. Everything. She goes on to say, I could not help it. When he went to the shower, I grabbed his phone and punched in the easy 4-digit pin I've seen him punch in a million times. I just wanted to glance, but I read all 30 seconds before anxiety nearly took me the fuck out. It was a full-blown argument on her part, begging for a divorce, accusing him of cheating, asking why the fuck his location is off. Only 2 replies on his side. We don't need to do that, honey. We can get through anything. And you need help. You're delusional and paranoid. I always say, oh, sorry, you weren't even able to read that, but here it is. I always say that the worst part of cheating isn't even the cheating itself. It's when they try to gaslight you after the fact. That's always 10 times worse than the cheating, is when they're like, no, you're crazy. You're insecure. You're the one who is blowing this up into such a big deal. You're literally so out of line for even thinking that. Meanwhile, they're right. And you're treating them like they're wrong for being right. That's the worst thing to be put through. Like, if you cheat on me and you straight up admit it and you do not gaslight me and you validate all of my upset feelings, that's something I could probably get past a lot quicker or at all compared to you trying to make me feel like I'm crazy for knowing what I know. That's when it's bad. She says, I panicked and felt like you could see the stress on my face when he came out, but he seemed to not notice. I said I was going to jump in the shower, and he ever so sweetly told me he loved me. He was going to get going and planted a big kiss passionately on me. I couldn't save face, so I pretended to playfully pull away, and he slapped my butt and said, I'll call you later. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, this is like watching someone literally, like, axe murder someone and then just be like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll just clean this up. Like, it's really scary to watch people lie like it's nothing. It's so terrifying. And it's like, she should have, like, I get that she might be the victim here if she honestly believed that he was in an ethical, non-monogamous relationship. But, like, I'm glad you got the wake-up call. Then she says, I have no issues with cheating to a degree, obviously. So obviously it's not a don't ask, don't tell policy. You did know, you just pretended not to know until things got worse, I guess. But the effort this man has voluntarily put into painting this picture of ethical non-monogamy at home has disturbed me deeply. The fact that she's calling him out and he's so casually and effortlessly telling her she needs help makes me physically ill. Yeah, because what do you think is in your future? I feel like I've been suddenly ripped from a fun arrangement and thrust into home-wrecking mental abuse enabler in an instant, and I'm sick about it. You were never in just a fun arrangement. You were in denial. This is the hardest an ick has ever icked, and the unexpected guilt is overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah. Ask me how bad I feel, though. Mm-hmm. That's exactly right, just Ricardo. He says people who are the victims of gaslighting like that will never trust anyone again. This includes being objectively wrong. That's the tricky thing is when you're gaslit and you've been denied your reality and hidden your reality for so long, you don't just have a hard time trusting other people. You can't even trust yourself anymore at that point because you're like, I let this happen for so long. What's wrong with me? Like, how do I know that I'm not an idiot? Oh man, it sucks. I love this one. How do you tell if a known cheater is lying to you or not? Hmm, this one's a tricky one. Oh, thank you, Victor. How bad do you feel, Lauren? Not. Thank you for asking, Victor. Would like to hear from fellow OtherWomen's experiences. How do you tell or find out if your married man is lying to you about the intention to get a divorce? Although there's no timeline, but there's definitely intention. He's gonna do it eventually, someday. How do you know if he's lying about him still loving or not loving his significant other? And how do you know if he really loves you or just wants to F for free? Tricky. Mine was honest that he couldn't give me a timeline. Wasn't sure when he'll get a divorce. Doesn't talk about our future or include me in his future plans. Asks me to accept and go with the flow whenever I raise issues. And asks me to find my own happiness if I couldn't take it anymore. Actually, it doesn't even sound like he's lying. It sounds like he's completely telling you the truth. And you just like living in delusion land. He literally told you, like, hey, if you want to be with me, no promises, no commitments, no deadline. You're going to be a side piece for God knows how long. Could be a year, could be 5 years, could be the rest of our lives. Who knows? And if you don't like it, you can always go date someone else, and I will not stop you because I don't actually care about you. And she's like, but do you think he really loves me? No. No, no, I do not. No. Oh, so hard to figure out, you know? I think he's probably telling the truth, though. This is like the saddest thing, too. And this is another reason that Chelsea has, I guess I'll call it a successful business compared to the fact that it's the only one that I know is actually like in operation actively. But Chelsea Smallwood, the owner of the OtherWomen and the Wife cheater coaching business, I guess like her whole story is she cheated on her husband with a guy who was cheating on his wife. And even though she got out of her marriage fairly quickly by comparison, like she cheated for like 3 months and then was like, I cheated on you, let's divorce. Cool. Despite her getting out fairly quickly, it's my understanding that her now current husband stayed in his marriage for 5 years while cheating with Chelsea. I brought this up a few times, but like to imagine both cheating, like being a side piece for 5 years, and the flip side of being a betrayed spouse for 5 years, being cheated on for 5 years, like one of those things is so deeply pathetic and one of those things is like so deeply traumatic that I don't even understand how a person pretends that they're the victim of that situation. But like 5 years is crazy. Nonetheless, another common theme that I've found is other women refer to going legit as like the dream, the happily ever after. So it doesn't matter how long you were stuffed into a closet, like Harry Potter, the unwanted of the children in the Dursley home. Like, she got the happy ending in the end because after 5 years, his wife finally got sick of him and divorced him. And so he was forced to accept his consolation prize of his side piece. Like, that to them is winning. And so because they're able to see a success story of someone who was able to marry and not get divorced by this man who cheated for several years on end, they want to know how she did it, you know? They got to figure it out. Oh, hold on. I kind of have to pee, so this is a good time for me to change the battery. And then when we get back, we'll hear about a married man who asks his affair partner to essentially put herself on ice so that he can convince his wife to get an abortion before he leaves her. Yeah, so the depraved behavior does not end. I will have so much more for you. Let me go run and pee real quick, and I will be right back with a changed battery and an empty bladder. Yay. Okay, I'm back. That did not take very long. Just a quick little break. You guys get your snacks, you guys refill your coffee or whatever. All right. Let's get into it. We thought that we had hit the peak of degeneracy earlier in the stream, but as it turns out, we can get lower. This one reads New Low. This is the most evil shit I've ever seen posted on that sub. Humanity sucks. I'm going to bed. Says, I'm coming here feeling emotionally fragile. His wife got pregnant. He convinced her to get an abortion by admitting to her that he was unfaithful because of how isolated he felt from her due to postpartum depression and anxiety from her previous pregnancies. Now he no longer plans on cheating and wants to be a good husband because she's making a big sacrifice for him. Yet he wants to be friends and asked for space for at least 3 weeks, saying, please wait for me to be the one to contact you first. So I'm just kind of sitting here with my feelings. And you want us to feel bad for these people? These are these are supposed to be the integrated ones? Oh my god. Now, wow. I do not like convincing anyone to get an abortion for any reason. Unless, like, God, it's gotta be a hell of a good one. It's gotta be like the doctor said, if you have another baby, you'll both die. Like, it's gotta be that bad. That does not appear to be the case. Because on one hand, he's like, well, I had to cheat on you because you were too depressed. You had too much postpartum depression, which, like, let's really think about this, dude. What are you doing, my guy, to start preventing some of these pregnancies? Okay? Like, clearly, clearly it's been rough on her. But also, at the same time, it doesn't seem to be like you're not getting any. It does not appear that you're completely without sex, because obviously your wife is pregnant. Oh, I'm sorry, she's a little too sad for you, so you had to go out and cheat on her. Like, clearly you were playing both of them, obviously. But to be like, oh, well, I didn't want another baby, so I'm just gonna traumatize you into not wanting it as well. Bro, get a vasectomy. Are you kidding me? Like, this is terrible. Yeah, humanity sucks. I'm going to bed. OP is such a mood. Cameron, I completely agree. So he says he no longer plans on cheating. I feel like that's a nice little, like, rhetoric loophole for, like, we won't plan on it, but, like, if we just stay friends and something happens, then that's not something like either of us can control, right? So it's not like on us. He's basically like, he literally said, I'm gonna be a good husband for 3 weeks. Just give me 3 weeks and then I'll reach out to you. But you gotta give me at least 3 weeks to make it seem, I gotta lower my 5-star rating on GTA here. I'm at 5 stars. The police are looking for me. So I gotta just sit in hiding for a good 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Let those drop down to maybe like 1 star. Let the heat die off a little bit. And then, who knows, maybe I'll get you pregnant. Like, oh my god. I I just bounced before cheating could even happen. Well, how? How, Caleb? How do you bounce before the cheating can happen? I know I said that sometimes there's red flags, but a lot of times there are none. I don't know if there's much to do to prevent getting cheated on. Like, you can be the best, most present, most beautiful partner in the world, and some people are just greedy, you know? Simply a mom, I do see it. And I'm so happy that you like my content. Thank you. Yeah, that one is one of the worst ones that I've ever read, dude. Literally, absolutely evil. Yeah, some of these commenters have the same thoughts as me. Imagine getting your wife pregnant when you claim you're cheating on her because you couldn't handle her postpartum depression from the previous times you knocked her up. Imagine coercing her into an abortion by devastating her with the disclosure of an affair. Imagine saying you'll reward her for her abortion by pretending to end the affair while still planning to reach out to your affair partner once the dust settles. Then imagine being some trash other woman that would sleep with a guy that does this to his wife. Insanity all around. I hope this poor wife has a brother or dad that can help rectify this tragic situation. But also, like, what a good thing to point out too, and this is why I'm still the Dadvocate, because, like, truly, this is where a good brother or a good dad comes so in the clutch. Every single time I've ever had a horrible experience with a man, it was like I needed other men to pull me out of that, because it's like the girlies will be there, but you need to see other good men during those times, or else it's so easy to become like the like a misandrist, basically. Same with men. It's so easy to like completely turn against women when you don't have good women in your corner following like a horrible betrayal from a woman. So you got to keep your team together, man. You can't prevent cheating, but you can prepare for tragedy by having a good team no matter what. You got a good team on your side. Best case scenario, there are no tragedies. You just get to chill with great homies. But worst case scenario, you have great homies who are there for you. So build your team for sure, for sure. Send the asteroid. Oh man. Let's see. What did I title this one as? Being used for sex? No. New here, been with long distance affair partner 7 months. I live in a fire area, which my affair partner well knows. Wondering if your APs check to see if you're okay? Mine knew I evacuated, didn't say anything about it. I know people are busy on weekends, obviously so am I, but if it were me, I would have checked in, genuinely asked if everything's okay. Zero concern about my well-being being shown. I've received messages from all over, even from people I haven't heard from in a long time. But AP? Nothing really. Sobering. And like these people, this whole OtherWomen subreddit is just full of stories like this. Women who are like, God, it sucks like not being able to talk to them during the holidays, or they have to wait until the weekend to talk to them, like you're sharing custody of your alleged boyfriend. This is freaking embarrassing, dude. What do you mean? Oh my god, wait, this one. I call this one, I do what I'm supposed to, so I'm allowed to cheat. This was a comment response from one of the cheaters who was simply trying to like ask for advice in his affair or something. Someone was calling him out. He responds, "You're so off the mark, it's not even funny. My wife gets everything she wants. She gets rubbed when she needs it. The house is clean. Her hair and nails are always tended to. I'm a teacher and a bartender on the side. I cook most nights, clean, do laundry, grocery shop, mow the grass, and mend the house. Put her first in all my decisions. Please don't take out your past relationships on me." Husband of the year over here. So because he does what he's supposed to do, he's allowed to cheat. And he genuinely believes that when he does cheat, that he's putting her first. So is she allowed to cheat, or no? I don't think anybody is that off the mark here. She gets everything she wants except for a loyal husband. I think most wives would trade a couple of these things, you know? I think they would trade like, yeah, we can hire someone to mow the grass if it means you'll be loyal to me. Need us to take some things off your plate? Like, what will it take for you to maintain the loyalty piece? Because me personally, I would rather pay like 40, $50 a week in the summer for someone else to mow our lawn if that would like guarantee I would not get an STI. I really think that most women would scrap a few of these in exchange for the loyalty. So I don't know if this is really the Chad behavior he thinks it is. That's, oh my god. I love that the adultery hate person called it a beautiful love story. But let's keep dragging how desperate and pathetic these losers are. Married man blocked me. Flair reads, "In my feels." Posting this only to share my personal experience. I had an affair with a married man for a year, 48, and me, a 27-year-old. I was infatuated with him, and it was intense emotionally and sexually. We got caught, and it ended badly. His wife found out. We have never spoken face to face. He completely blocked me and hasn't talked to me in a year, and we live in the same town. How can he completely ignore me after our history? Will he speak to me again? I still want him and think about him. I don't say this often, but daddy issues, 100% daddy issues. There are very few times in my life that I'm able to cold clock an entire situation and just know without a shadow of a doubt that this woman did not have a father growing up, but this is one of those situations. I'm sorry, you're a 27-year-old woman. You are like in your prime. You are at like the age celebrities hope they die at so they can die at their hottest, okay? And you are hung up for 4 entire seasons over a man 20 years older than you? I'm sorry, unless he's Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm having trouble understanding here. Hello? I love Robicus says, yo, loving you dragging that deranged other woman lady through the mud. Her and her smut gotta go. I'm glad it's not just me. Because lately I'm like, man, I don't know if I've ever covered someone this long. Like, not even the Jolly wife strike drama lasted this long, I don't think. But at the same time, it never escalated into a court case. Like, I probably would have gotten bored by now. Like, to be completely honest, I said I wasn't going to spend too much of the stream talking about the Chelsea situation, but, like, being very real, like, Chelsea's already crashed out so fucking hard. Like, she's already so despicably cooked. Like, if you look at her TikTok, there are some that still only have, like, 5 likes on them after being up for several days. Like, and having turned off her comment section, she's blowing any chance for engagement that she has completely out of the water. So, like, I'm pretty sure her page is dead. The only reason I'm not letting it go yet is because the case is not over. The legal case is not over. So until then, probably still going to keep making fun of this stuff. Probably. Okay. I love that you said 27 is actually 2 years too late for Leo. Whoops. I did forget about that. Sorry, Leo. I wasn't trying to hag max you. Oh god, let's look more into the delusion of affair partners. If anything, like I say pretty often on this channel, we can't save these hoes. We can't. Okay? Only God can save these hoes. The best we can do is learn from their situations. So, if any of you watching are like ever in a situation where you're considering maybe like hanging out with a married man and you're thinking to yourself like, I don't know, I really do think that like what we have is special and like there's really a chance that he's gonna leave her, and like he says he's gonna leave her, he just needs to like finish a couple things first. Like I hope that all of these stories are kind of sinking in and you realize that you're just gonna be the next one waiting for like 5 entire years for him to eventually settle with you. Like, you don't want this fate, girl. You don't want this fate, fellas. Thought this was posted as satire, but no, they're serious. The other woman says, must wait for my affair partner's divorce. All he needs to do is settle his car loan in 1 year first because his car was registered under his significant other's name. After he settles his car loan, he can plan to divorce next year. 1 year is too long time. I am so impatient for that. How am I going to stay patient? I feel so hurt and cannot wait patiently. It is so pained. How do you deal with that? I can tell English is not her first language, but it is so pain. It's so funny. This is just hilarious. Like, the denial and delusion. Like, they really think that all it's gonna take is this one last car loan. Lady, after the car loan, it's gonna be like, oh, but now we just found out there's something else. They're married. They're so embroiled in each other's lives, dude. If he really wanted to divorce this lady, like, he could figure out the car loan. He's not divorcing her. He's putting you in a freezer bag, dude. He's putting you on ice and he's telling you to just stick it out. He's future faking you because none of these people who are so comfortable with cheating, who love to make all these excuses for cheating, would ever be okay with being cheated on. They would be falling down the wall, snot bubble forming, sobbing, puking into their own hands if they got cheated on. But when they do it, it's because your postpartum was too bad. Yeah, I love the quote, your soulmate is never another woman's husband. I agree. I've got another gone legit, gone wrong story for us. Going legit does not ever seem to fully work out the way we think. Says no contact. I posted less than a week ago with a success story. It didn't last. We had a few wonderful days together. He said he felt more confident with me, more himself, happier. We agreed we both wanted to go slowly and that I would support while he got himself on even ground. He even told people about us. I met friends of his. It was hard and we cried a lot together. We were open and vulnerable and I loved every second, even the deeply painful parts. But today, he begged me to stop chasing him. He said that the pressure he put on himself around me was making him depressed. He said that he needs to concentrate on cleaning up the mess he made, the ruins of his life, his kids. He said he doesn't know what he wants still. He said that if there was a way to recover his marriage, maybe he would want that. He doesn't know what he wants. I'm devastated. It was never going to be me, was it? I was such a fool. When we left each other last, I was on such a high, scares for what was next, but secure that we'd still be together. Now I'm not sure that any of it was real. He said in our last call that he loved me, that it was all real, and that it was beautiful what we have, that maybe one day he would reach out. I feel indescribable. Empty. Dude, these married men are terrible. They're such players. They're always like, I don't, you know what though? I do kind of want my wife, but like, stick around. Like, don't block my number. I'll reach out on my terms. Okay? Is that fine? Can you just like hang out and wait around for me? Is that cool? I love no, bitch, it never was gonna be you. No contact. This is basically my exact story. He left. Things were hard but felt promising. I met him out with his best friend. It was so surreal. Then he caved under the pressure and the guilt, and he begged her forgiveness, and she took him back. Turned out our whole special relationship is some it Oh, it turned our whole special relationship into something he was ashamed of. I wish I had some magical advice to give to you, but I don't. What I will say is that January 29th will be 2 years since this happened to me, and I am really happy today. When you say it was never going to be me, please realize it wasn't really about choosing you or not choosing you. It was about him not being able to choose himself. He has now confined himself to this life that makes him unhappy. That's his cross to bear. I love how they just immediately jump to like, well, obviously you were the right choice. Like, he's gonna suffer without you because you're the girl that he was supposed to choose. But like, if he wants to shoot himself in the foot, you're just gonna have to let him, girlie. You, however, get to go build the life you want. You get to choose yourself, even if he couldn't. There is no balm for the grief you feel now. You have to just feel your way through the pain and loss. But there is hope on the other side. I promise you. Oh my God. That's what she's still telling herself to this day. To this day, 2 years later, I bet you she's still going back and being like, he looks so miserable with her. She's never going to be as good as me. She's not as attractive as me. He's so unhappy. Like, then why did he pick her, girly pop? If you were really so great, is that all it is? It's just Stockholm Syndrome every single time? Like, I mean, poor wife, because, you know, what are the odds that it's actually going to be all on the up and up from here on out? But I agree, Lauren, it is always really funny to watch people's cope when they get dropped. I could not agree more, quite frankly. Ah, here's another fun one. Oop. Oh, let's see. This is one where They do go legit, and she wins the prize. Let's see how it's going for her. He's been looking for work for a little over a month with little response. His soon to be ex was the breadwinner, and I have also been in nearly all of my relationships. I don't give up, to say the least, but he needs something to keep him stable. My issue is where he applied, he lied. His mother, niece, and soon to be ex all work for the same place. When he told me he applied there, my heart sank a little. He quickly followed up with, "Those two don't work there anymore, so nothing to worry about," referring to his soon to be ex and niece. He knows his mother has me added on social media, so I'm not sure why he chose to lie about this. It's been less than a week since he said this, and last night his niece posted a TikTok from, you guessed it, that same workplace, badge and all. My question is, what do I even do with this? I'd like to say something, but I know we'll get into an argument about me being on their social media. He said if he doesn't get a call back from them today, then he's just going to look for work up here, which we'd previously discussed, and I was really looking forward to. I don't even give a F that she works there or that they would be working together, as she has already moved on and so have we. So why lie? What do? But you won! You won! You won an unemployed cheater. What do you have to be complaining? You won an unemployed, lying cheater who continues to lie. You did it. Now you get to be the breadwinner. Now you get to take over. That's awesome. Good for you. Jackson says, "All right, we need some wholesome. For my 22nd birthday, my girlfriend bought me a sword. Why? Because swords are dope as hell. Love her to death." Hell yeah, brother. That is pretty sweet. Mrs. Tibrerian got you a halberd? That's amazing. Man, I need to step up my game. I think I need to purchase my husband more swords, I guess. Oh my god, that is so crazy. I do wonder if they have kids though. Like it sounds like at least him and his soon-to-be ex don't have kids, and good for her because if she's been the breadwinner, that means that she's hopefully not going to have to pay any child support. Hopefully they've been married less than 10 years, so her odds of having to pay alimony are low. Hopefully she just gets out of there, loses the dead weight, and then gets to keep that extra income for herself, not having to worry about paying for another grown man's way while he cheats on her the entire time. Congrats, soon to be ex. You nailed it. But also, this is so crazy that he's like not earning any money and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna apply for a job where my ex works." Girl, you are so fucking cooked, dude. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna skip this one. This is another absolutely insane one. This is more like of the type of advice these cheaters give each other. Hold on, just Ricardo. Thank you for the dono. Says my girlfriend buys me bongs and wrestling figs. Mine. That's really funny, actually. Ever since my parents like took a hard pivot away from being like extremely religiously conservative and kind of just turned into hippies, and weed became legal in Michigan, buying them gifts has become the easiest thing in the world. I just go to the local dispensary and just drop a bag and get my parents nice and toasted, and that's that. It's been easy peasy now. They're usually very hard to shop for. Now I'm like, I'm just trying to get my parents high, Your Honor. What can you give me? That's so funny. Hopefully that was a nice little wholesome break for us. Hopefully TikTok doesn't ban me. Okay. This is so funny. This says, just ticked off a year with a fair partner. So we've been having fun planning romantic dates for the next 12 months. There's a summer masquerade ball we found, so we're picking up the theme of prom king and queen. Wishing you all a great 2025. Have the affairs you deserve. I bet Chelsea is kicking herself for not coming up with that tagline. That's crazy. That one is wild. But what's also funny is it kind of carries the same effect as like whenever anybody says, I hope you get everything you deserve. How you react to that says a lot about how you like personally feel about how your life is going, right? Like that could either mean like I hope that you guys all enjoy your affair the way I am, or it could mean have the affair you deserve, which is how it seems to be going for most of these people. Well deserved misery, quite frankly. Like whenever I go through the OtherWomen subreddit, it is you are so hard pressed to find anybody celebrating. It is all like the most depressing stuff you've ever seen in your life. Like, it's been 7 days since we've talked. Why won't he leave his wife yet? Like that's 99% of it. So we love to see someone being optimistic in the midst of this. Oh my God. Yeah, Michigan's compares to California's, Lauren. We got some good stuff out here. Oh man. You guys want another gone legit, gone wrong saga? Because I do. Going legit soon. They're leaving their significant other. Always the happiest day for other women. I wanted to make this post hopefully inspire some of you that may be in the same position, to also provide some of you the hope you may need to get you through this ugly situation, the situation that's just happening to you, that has the potential to become something so beautiful. If you've read any of my previous posts, you know that I was an affair partner to a married woman who had a child and had been with her husband for the better part of a decade, of a quarter decade. So this guy has been boning this lady who's been married for 25 years. 25 years, some poor schmuck has completely dedicated himself to this woman, all to culminate in this. Her and I became friends first, a year ago. We had no intentions of turning it into anything more than an amazing friendship. However, through spending so much time with another, we developed feelings, but never spoke of them, until one day she admitted how she had been feeling. And that was all the confirmation I needed to lose all self-control and share that I too was feeling the same. We snuck around for several months, seeing each other almost every day, talking non-stop, and eventually we fell so deeply in love. It felt and still feels like a dream to me. I've never experienced this kind of love before. The one you don't question, the one you're so afraid to lose and never feel again, the one that makes you want to be the best possible version of yourself. I wonder if she feels the same way, because I don't know if she's being the best possible version of herself while she cheats on her husband of a quarter century. Oh wait, quarter decade. I'm sorry. That's 1/4 of 10 years. So like, wait, well, how would you say a quarter decade? That's such a weird way to say 2.5 years, isn't it? You got me all confused for no reason. A quarter decade? Who says that? Just say 2 years or so. What? Anyway. He goes on to say, through this process, I struggled so much. I struggled to understand what my self-worth really was. I went back and forth in my mind, telling myself that in my current state, I couldn't support her the way she's being supported by her husband. He's well off financially, which allowed her to be a stay-at-home mom. Oh my God, this guy's paying her way. I was like wondering too, I'm like, how are they seeing each other every single day? Christ, because he's away at work and she's just at home. Their kids might be school-aged by now. Wait, did they say they do have kids? I gotta go back now. I don't remember. Do they have kids? Yes, she has a child. Oh my God, where's the kid going? Are you bringing the kid with you? Are you inviting this dude over and doing the hanky-panky in front of your baby? Oh, this broad. God, and this guy is just paying for all of it. And the worst part is, even if he divorces her, he's still probably going to have to pay for it because that's the lifestyle that they've established. This is another reason I'm the Dadvocate, because I know a lot of men who are put in this position where they think that they're doing everything right. They're like, no, baby, you stay home. You do things your way. I'll earn the money. I'll provide. And she's like, yeah, but I'm bored with you away, so I have to Chad. Oh my God. Congrats, Anthon. Congrats. All right. Her life was as made as most women wish they had it. And that was where my insecurities were rooted. I felt like I wasn't enough and that she would never leave that life for me. Some 20-something-year-old kid that was still trying to figure life out. She's in her 40s. Oh, wow. So she's practically a ped, too. And look, I say this about men. If you're a man in your 30s talking to some 19-year-old, you're a fucking weirdo. If you're a woman in your 40s talking to a 20-year-old, I understand that it's legal. I understand it's legal. And I'm the same one that says, look, if you're allowed to go join the army and get shot and die, I guess you're allowed to pork some 40-year-old if you want to. But it makes the 40-year-old a little weird. It makes you weird. The 20-year-old wanting to bang a 40-year-old, go off, king. Go hag max until the cows come home. But you, as a married 40-year-old mother, what the hell? Eventually, her husband found out, and that began a rather rocky process, I bet. Initially, she was pulling away and telling me that she couldn't go through separation with him at the same time as still being tangled up with me. During this, I was becoming confused because while she was telling me that occasionally she would still come around to see me and act as normal as ever, so I couldn't quite understand what her intentions were and what she wanted from me. So I went no contact with her for a few weeks. No contact forced her to feel my absence and to make a decision. You showed her, you showed that hag. During no contact, she made several attempts to contact, and I just stood my ground. After about 3 weeks of no contact, we rekindled, and she confirmed that she was in fact leaving her marriage. She outlined all the things she needed to do to get there, and we agreed that this would be the pathway moving forward. Now, here we are. She's in the process of separating and navigating early states of divorce. All of the darkness I went through in my mind was worth it. Well, yeah, because you have the easy part. You're just a kid who wants to hag max. She has to actually deal with the divorce proceedings and child custody and division of assets. Like, yeah, you're just a dumb, naive kid who has no idea what the situation that you've gotten into. I'm sure it feels a little easier now that you've gotten your little blanket of denial that she's temporarily future fake slash presented you with. But like, he's so oblivious to how this is really gonna go down, dude. It truly is a division of asshats. This guy is letting the asshats divide and conquer and have each other, that's for sure. I was right the whole time. She did love me. She did think I was enough. She was so sure of us that she was willing to do what was necessary to ensure we have a life together. I keep telling myself those things and I hold on to them. I've never been in a situation where someone had to make such sacrifices to keep me in their life, and just finally seeing it come to fruition gives me the happiness that I had been praying for the last year. You can make it out of these situations, all while I understand we are in the early stages of it all, and things can still happen. I trust her. Now more than ever, because of all of what she's done to show me she truly wants a life together. You can make it through this side too. Take the signs for what they are. Protect your heart as much as you can. Ask your person to be upfront about everything. Allow them space to be honest. Be honest with yourself. Don't force them to make decisions. Let them show you where they are, who they are, and what they want. I never imagined the love of my life would stumble into mine in this fashion. But hey, most of my life has been a chaotic shit show, so maybe it makes sense that this is part of my story. Or maybe, as we've mentioned several times throughout this stream, you're the victim of your own toxic patterns of behavior that you desperately need therapy to get out of. I appreciate all of you for your support through it all. This forum really gave me the ammunition I needed to understand the fragility of the situation and how best to navigate it. This dangerous echo chamber really gave me the weapons that I needed to use against her to emotionally manipulate me, to emotionally manipulate her into further lying to me. Great. Nailed it. I mean, what are the odds she groomed him? That's the thing, is they've been doing this for a year. He's 20 now, so he was 19 then. It's not, there is a such thing as adult grooming, and it's whenever there's a power imbalance. So like someone who's vulnerable, maybe like in poverty, technically can be groomed by like a much older, powerful man with money and connections, for example. Maybe I would need to know more about their situation, but like it's not looking good for her. She's not looking like mother of the year for sure. So this is a next post following that by the same user. Transitioning from secret affair to going legit. Once again, he loves using this flair. Leaving the SO. She picked me, guys. I'm the Giga Chad today. We've finally reached the point where my married woman and her husband are filing for divorce 7 months after the initiation of the affair. So wait, didn't he just say in this last post how he's been feeling for the last year? Now it's 7 months? That's a bit of generous rounding up, buddy. Come on, if it was 10 months, I would give you a year. 7 months is closer to half a year, sir. Half a year, and you think you're gonna be the one that beats out this long, sorry, I guess it wasn't long. That was my initial confusion. This quarter of a decade long marriage. Oh my God. I'm excited and nervous at the same time for a few reasons. I've only been in one long-term relationship in my adult life, and it was long distance. Therefore, I really don't have experience being with a person 24/7 and living with them. Sounds like you don't have experience having to be the sole breadwinner and provider either. That's gonna be the carpet being ripped out from under your feet for fucking sure, dude. We both agree we want to share the same address sometime next year once papers are finalized and the sale of their home happens. At this stage, we are both just really optimistic and have gotten a lot closer considering we hang out so much more, and many of our friends and family are starting to find out about me. I guess the reason for making this post was to encourage any of you who have made it this far. He loves being like the Moses who's gonna help these cheaters just part their fucking seas. I just want to encourage all of you with your experience and also drop some gems of knowledge for me, as this is new territory for me. I don't know what to expect, and so I'm just sitting here trying my best to hold on until we make it to the other side. How did you support your married person as they were navigating early stages of divorce? And how have you two settled into a new life together once you made it to that place? He's really got to regret posting this. Oh, just wait, fam. Just wait. Oop. Did I miss one? Yes. Plans to go legit, but I've got insecurities. Uh-oh. Married partner and I have plans to go legit as they are currently undergoing divorce proceedings. We are not going public just yet out of respect for their soon-to-be ex, but they've already initiated the divorce process and we are looking toward our future together. Our age gap is quite significant as I am in my 20s. He doesn't say how old she is anymore. My biggest insecurity is that my married person is coming from a situation where they were financially dependent on their spouse and did not work and lived a lavish lifestyle. Rich AF. Oh my God. She is so cooked. I'm fairly young and don't have my finances set up in order. I have low amounts of consumer debt and student loans. I make good money but have high expenses and live alone. While I know my married partner is not with me for financial reasons, I can't help but feel insecure about being such a complete different place in life than where my married partner was and is in their current relationship. Yeah, dude, talk about the carpet being pulled out. I feel like the reality of this is going to hit her super hard too. I think that she's just kind of expecting that she's going to get this big fat paycheck from the divorce. And I don't know if it's going to go that way. I really don't know, especially if they've only been married for 2.5 years. Some judges are a little bit more lenient in those situations. Some judges are like, I don't know if you really need alimony. I don't know if you really necessarily need all of these assets. And like, who knows how he's got those protected? If he has a prenup, if he has them set up in an LLC that's outside of the marriage, she might not be getting as much as she thinks she is, dude. Some of these guys are actually really smart about how they protect their assets. Obviously, through the divorce, married partner will walk away comfortably in the financial department. Okay, so he seems to be banking on this too. What is so obvious about that to you? Why do you guys feel so confident and sure there? So I don't feel any pressure of having to support them, but I just want to be enough for this person. And while I am working on getting myself out of this uncomfortable position, I've not discussed or disclosed my financial status with married partner due to my own insecurities. Is this something that could turn married partner away from me? I'm not even sure where to begin to discuss and be honest about what's been on my mind. Yeah, I would say the reality of the situation is probably going to be a freaking wake up call, to say the least. I do not think she is protecting herself at all. Because the thing is, I don't know what state they're in either, but it's also 50-50 is becoming more and more common. I'm sure there are a lot of you guys listening right now that are like, fuck you, Lauren. I've asked for 50-50 a million times and paid tens of thousands of dollars and I still can't get more than every other weekend. True, but it's becoming more common. And it's also becoming more common for people to be like, we're just going to do 50-50, no child support, which I'm sure she's going to fight that. But if he really does have all of the money, then he could easily be like, yeah, I can pay for everything need be. Don't worry about it. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go, especially because he's saying that her friends and family have found out about him, but does the ex know about this? Because what she might be doing is what a lot of sneaky gold digging cheaters do, and she's keeping this affair completely unknown to him so that he maybe is playing a little bit nicer into the divorce. But if he finds out that he's been getting mad cheated on for like the majority of their marriage, or at least like a good freaking chunk of it, he might not play so nice, nor should he, quite frankly. Ooh, that's a good point. He should ask for a DNA test. That's a great point. Oh my God, yeah. There might not be much child support to pay if it's not his kid. And what would be the odds too? I don't think it's a not zero odds that the kid isn't either of theirs. Hmm? Hmm? I'm just saying. On to the next post in this saga. I'm so hurt. The flare has changed from a yellow, they're leaving, to a more somber green in my feels. This might sound like an unreasonable thing to be in my feelings about, but I can't help but feel the way I do. So, married woman and I have been having an affair for about 8 months. She was caught about 3 months ago. Oh, so she didn't disclose. She was caught. Okay. And shortly after she got caught, I initiated no contact with her because I wanted to let her know that if she truly wanted to be with me, that she would have to make a series of decisions to separate. Not sure that she would actually choose me, but it turns out she did. She came back to me about 3 weeks later, telling me that she wanted to go through with filing the divorce and that this was her plan to get there. I'm curious too. Do you think it was really her idea to do the divorce, or do you think she's only going back to him because the husband was like, I can't reconcile this? What do you think actually happened? Because I feel like a lot of these gone legit situations are just like the married person accepted their participation trophy after getting dumped. That's how it feels to me. It feels like these people would be happy to either choose the wife or have both. But if they get broken up with, then they're like, fine, I'll take my side piece. That's the way it really feels. Fast forward to today. We were having a conversation on the phone about people we've been intimate with in the past year, and she reassured me that throughout our affair, she was not intimate with him. I'm gonna press F to doubt. I or is it X to doubt? I think it's X to doubt. I'm gonna doubt. I'm gonna choose to extremely doubt that one. No, that's cap. She did say, though, during the phase of no contact, that she did try to be intimate with him once and that they both felt uncomfortable and did not enjoy it. I mean, I do believe that. I do believe that. There's a phenomenon that I've been learning since like learning about this whole cheater space called, I want to say, either hyper bonding or hysterical bonding, which is the psychological phenomenon of after a person finds out that they've been cheated on, sometimes their libido actually increases majorly. And it's out of a desperation to reconnect their attachment with their own partner. And so they do find that like desperate need to like, they want to suddenly sleep with them. So it wouldn't surprise me if the husband found out about this and then was like, I'm gonna try to win her back. And then once he was like inside of her, he's like, this is not where me or my dick want to be right now. This ain't it. And she's trying to plant it as like, neither of us enjoyed it. It was probably like, how much you want to bet that like after she got dumped by her affair partner, she was like, not only got dumped, but like now her husband's pissed at her. So she tried to use sex as a leverage. He was like, get off me. And she was like, neither of us liked it. That is the way that I'm seeing it. Oh man. During the no contact stage, she never stopped checking for me, whether in person at our shared spaces, through Instagram, or through text and phone calls. So how could you sleep with your husband knowing that you were still making attempts to have a relationship with me? How could a person who has been lying and duplicitously gaslighting their own spouse that they made a commitment to, capable of lying? How could this happen to me? It was only supposed to happen to him. I'm extremely hurt and upset, and I feel stupid for feeling upset because she is going through with the divorce. I would try and get receipts on that, my guy. But I'm so tired of the emotional roller coaster of all of this. I want to trust her and know that beyond this, she will stay faithful to me. I just can't catch a break. There's always something new that pierces my heart and brings me pain. I love her so much, but I'm tired, even though we're almost there. You're not. Because what happens when you get there? Now you're married to a cheater. Now you're married to a lady that you know is capable of cheating on her husband for half a year to a year at least. You got paperwork on that divorce? Or what? Because what reason do you have to believe this? I love Hunsinger, dude. You should feel stupid. You've been stupid. And that's the thing is a lot of these other women, these other men, they go to these communities because they're like, it sucks feeling like I'm an idiot. And they're looking for someone to validate them and be like, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. And it's like, unfortunately, though, there are times in your life that you're allowed to admit you're being a fucking idiot. I've done it many times. I continue to do it, and I will do it again. It's okay to admit that you're being an idiot. It's fine. Truly, it happens to the best of us. What's not okay is trying to avoid any situation where you have to admit that you're an idiot. It's a part of life. Part of life is admitting when you are being stupid and knowing that it's not going to be the first or last time, but constantly trying to put yourself in spaces where you can maybe try to like talk your way out of accountability. That's the stupidest of all, dude. The stupidest of all. Okay. I've got a couple more for you. A couple more. This goes back to the whole, like, this wasn't supposed to happen to me bit. Well, found out I'm not the only other woman. Shocker. I don't know how many there are, but it's not just me. He would have kept this up if I hadn't put two and two together. I'm so livid with him. I felt guilty and questioning what kind of person I am ever since I started with him. I go to bed with a guilty conscience, yet here he is, building an entire harem of women. We are so stupid to be involved. I blocked him. The anger is still alive and active. How did any of you deal with this, if you ever had to? To which another other woman replies, ew, I'd be livid too. We play this game to be the out. If there's more than one, you're being lied to, and it's game over. Folks, you are posting to r/the other woman. I'm not the best at math, but if I'm doing this math correctly, there has always been more than one. Do you hear this ridiculous batch of excuses? We play this game to be the out. The only reason we're here is to save them from a toxic marriage. They wouldn't cheat if it wasn't for their dirty, terrible wife. Okay? Now, the way that you know they're truly a bad person is if they cheat on their wife with someone besides you. That's when it's not okay anymore. That's when it's gross. Ew, that's where we draw the line. No, sorry, math. I'm bad at math. I'm excellent at math. I do so much. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. For legal purposes, that was a joke. Yeah, no, I'm like the math best. I'm a mathematician, I always say. Oh my god. Ah. Who wants to hear another happily ever after? Let's do one last story before I show you a video to close up our live stream. Another in my feels. His best friend gave me the closure I needed, but I still feel like I wasted 25 years of my life. I apologize in advance for this post being so long. I will try to break things up properly, but I would like to provide full context. They always need to provide as many details as they can. Any additional things that they think might make them sound like the victim in all of this, so that's why they're always so long. I'm calling my second ex-husband ex-married man and his best friend merely best friend. I don't wish to ascribe any personal value to them beyond this. We've, ex-married man and I, been divorced for nearly 2 years now after being together for nearly 25 years. 5 years as what I thought were devoted affair partners, and 20 years as a legit couple. Oh my god, so this could be written by a future Chelsea. Because this is Chelsea right now, is she helped her now husband cheat for 5 years, and then after finally being the consolation prize, is now with him for, I think they've been together for about 10 years total. So that's like her version of winning, is because she's doubled the amount of time that her husband was with his ex-wife at least. She considers herself the winner, I guess. So she helped him cheat for 5 years. Then he eventually either gets dumped or leaves her. I'm going to assume got dumped though, leading to a now 20-year-long marriage as a legit couple. We share one child between us, and we each have older children from our previous marriages. I'm currently in a forced no-contact situation with my children and stepchildren due to legal pettiness on their end. Yes, I'm sure it's the children's problem. I'm sure it's the children's fault that they do not want to stay in contact with their cheating parents. Has nothing to do with the affair you guys had going or the 5 years of trauma and damage you did to their other non-cheating parent. They're just being petty. Those petty kids. But they'll figure out what a good mom you are someday. That's hilarious. Ex-married man and I had an ugly divorce, and for a brief 3 months, we reconnected this year and seemed to be on track to truly rekindle our relationship, only to have my childish hopes dashed, and we are both no longer speaking, and this is a permanent fixture this time. I recently ran into ex-married man's best friend at a local restaurant and was surprised that he bothered speaking to me. He'd always been rude and a bit of a lecher, and this was one of those few points of contention in my relationship with my ex. Again, I foolishly thought, wrong, before and during our marriage. Yeah, I've got to imagine that that's probably pretty annoying that, like, you helped this man cheat on his wife for 5 years and, like, people are judging you for it. Like, ugh, what a lecher. What a petty guy to judge me just for breaking the heart of a woman that I imagine he's also much closer friends with. Like, oh, it's so annoying the way everybody's judging us. Just get over it. Oh my God, it was only 5 years of his consistently gaslighting a woman who thought that she was in a safe, healthy relationship and is now going to forever struggle to trust anybody or herself ever again. And also has to deal with the fallout of all of her children having to deal with the chaos of the situation, who are also pretty traumatized by this. Yeah. So crazy that they're judging you though. Best friend made small talk at first since he seemed to be in a good mood and was drinking, asked how I was, asked if I'd heard from the kids, which I explained I had not. I was not legally forced to be no contact at the time. So she's basically admitting that even though before there were legal parameters put in place, which it sounds like the kids got a freaking restraining order on her. That's what it sounds like. Doesn't forced no contact sound like just a dressed up version of a freaking PPO? Dude, this lady got a restraining order put on her by her own kids and is like, they're being so petty. How much you want to bet she did some crazy shit during this high conflict divorce? Oh my God. And I love that she points out, like, even before this, they still weren't talking to her. He asked if I knew about my ex-married man's whereabouts. After I divulged that I didn't know much of what he'd been up to, well, the proverbial floodgates opened. Ex-married man is planning on moving to Thailand in a year due to rising costs in our home state and for what he considers better quality woman. Oh my God, your cheating ex is now becoming a passport bro. Color me surprised. Color me absolutely surprised that the cheating husband to divorcee plotline doesn't eventually lead to passport bro. Isn't that always the case though? Isn't that always what precedes the passport bro lifestyle? Oh, holy classic tropes, Batman. Saying he was tired of American women after striking out in the dating scene recently, but my ex's best friend expressed that he did regret how things ended with his ex. I'm sure. I asked him to clarify, and he said, grumpy old bastard finally came to his senses and said he regretted screwing around on his ex-wife. Oh my God. So this best friend is not being nice. He has been waiting to throw in her face how badly he regrets messing up with his original ex-wife. He's been waiting for this, and I don't blame him at all, okay? Because I have long since felt the exact same way, quite frankly. And when this has happened to my friends, absolutely we relished in it. Absolutely, we were like, yeah, of course. Of course they regretted it. Of course our friend who never deserved this was always the real winner. I'm sure some of you have gone through this and you know exactly what this guy is talking about. He is making small talk just so that he had that opening to be able to throw in her face. Yeah, by the way, he doesn't regret your divorce. He regrets his first one. You want me to buy you a cocktail so I can rub this in your face even more? I love this guy. He didn't regret how things ended between me and him. He regrets how things ended with his ex-wife before me. So isn't that some crazy shit? Even though you're the one that got to spend a longer amount of time with this man, you are not the one that got away. Why do I feel like this is in Chelsea's future? Why do I feel like Chelsea already now to this day is like, dude, I had a loyal, faithful, good wife in China. A good wife. And I left her for a woman who is using all of my money in the world to vexatiously sue her own victims. That dude's gotta be regretting the ruination of his first marriage. Like, no doubt in my mind that that's exactly how Stan feels right now. None. Dylan says, I would also be relishing in that shit. I'm glad we're in common ground here. To clarify, my ex-married man's family and his friends were somewhat permissive of affairs on the basis that one spouse was being lousy, lazy, abusive, unhygienic, withholding of intimacy, constantly nagging. Okay, so she's trying to like, she thinks this helps, I guess, to be like, yeah, well, just to like let you guys know, like his family didn't really care that we were doing it as long as like the ex is a terrible person. So like they must not have been okay with it if like she wasn't a terrible person or wasn't doing any of those things. So like I'm just surprised because I always assumed she was a piece of shit. It was why I was perplexed by my ex married man's family not accepting me fully, but lambasting his cousin and cutting him off for cheating on his wife after she gained an ungodly amount of weight. These other women are truly the scum of the earth. She literally just said, like, oh my God, like, why are you mad at me for helping him cheat when his wife sucks? I won't say exactly how because I don't have any majorly good reasons, but just trust me, bro. But you're okay with him even though she got fat. She got fat. He should be allowed to cheat on her. Ma'am, I cannot wait for life to humble this woman. I cannot wait. I don't like think that you should wish fatness or unhealthiness on anybody out of spite because inherently I'm not one of those people that thinks there's anything wrong about being fat. I don't think that you deserve to be cheated on because you got fat. I think that's crazy. I think if you marry someone, you should only marry a person who you can see yourself being with even if they get fat. Quite frankly, that is a belief that I've said multiple times on my channel, and you can absolutely disagree with me if you want, but the structure of marriage doesn't disagree with me. The structure of marriage says in sickness and in health. So the structure of marriage says don't get married if you want them to be rail thin model throughout the entire duration of your entire old age. That's ridiculous. Your partner should be allowed to get fat without getting cheated on. If you literally cannot stand what they have become, then it's on you to take the consequences of a divorce and then go bang some skinnier person if you absolutely need to. But what? You think that getting fat is a good enough reason to get cheated on? You know fat people can still throw it out too, right? Like you do you know that fat people you do know that like fat people are absolutely capable of providing some of the funnest activities in the world. What are you talking about? Like I hope you get cheated on by the biggest baddest bitch of all time in your next relationship. You can't get cheated on right now because you're too single because nobody wants you. But the next time someone does fuck around and find out with you, I hope that the biggest boned diva comes and steals your man. It is always so humbling when these people who are like, ew, she's not even attractive enough to get my man, like, get dumped for that girl. That's so crazy. Like, they truly believe that men don't care for big women. Do they even understand what a trope it is for, like, the biggest, most ripped jock dudes to go for thicker women? Bigger people are loved. There are women who love bigger men because they feel more protected, and there are men who love bigger women for multiple reasons. They like the look. Maybe she can also cook, you know? That's crazy, though, to suggest that she deserved it for getting fat. And you deserve to be a divorced lady, and you deserve to be hearing all of this from the best friend. You deserve to be feeling the in your feels that you feel. It keeps going. I asked him what he meant by regretted screwing around on his ex-wife, and he proceeded to tell me, and because of course he is, he's like, let me go on. Oh, please, I've been waiting for this day. And he can't wait to tell the ex-wife about this. He proceeded to tell me that ex-married man started cheating on her after their second child was born. One night stands. Occasionally he'd cruise one of the local stops for truck drivers looking for decent enough lot lizards so he could get his rocks off cheaper, and a fling he had with a babysitter he hired briefly. I'm sure she had no idea about this. Oh my God. But don't they deserve each other? Doesn't someone who thinks that fat women deserve to be cheated on deserves a dude who looks for easy lot lizards? A match made in heaven, if you ask me, quite frankly. A well deserved 20 years. Oh my God. Ex-married man continued this up until our relationship. Oh, I don't think he stopped it after your relationship. I don't think he stopped any of that relate behavior when he met you at all. X continued up until our relationship was discovered as a result of me getting pregnant with my youngest, meaning ex-married man was cheating on both me and the ex-wife at the same time. I was hurt, to say the least. Oh, your kids are about to find out about a few more half-lib siblings in these next few years, I'm sure. I'm sure when they start being curious and doing them ancestry DNAs, a lot's gonna come out from those lot lizards. Oh my Lanta. Those humans, those people. I was hurt, to say the least. Oh, poor baby, it's so hard being you. I had assumed incorrectly that the infidelity in our relationship started within the last 5 to possibly 2 years of our marriage. Yet, he was cheating on me before the marriage. I learned that when I was 8 months pregnant, ex-married man broke down to his friend and expressed that he wished I'd gotten an abortion or miscarried because he didn't want his kids to hate him more than they already did. This man has been ready to tell her these things for years. You know, it wouldn't even surprise me if he found out that this was a bar she regularly went to drink at and was like, I think I found my new spot. I'm just gonna wait. That wouldn't surprise me either. Oh my God. Where was I? Ex-married man's best friend told me the ex-married man was going to happy ending massage parlors where he was supposed to be helping me after the traumatic birth. Why? Because he didn't want to deal with the uncomfortableness of seeing me in pain and seeing me suffer, but leaving me totally alone and lying and saying he was meeting with his lawyer was perfectly fine. Wow, not getting a happy ending at the massage parlor during the birth of your child. You get what you pay for. Jojo, sir, you are so plain and boring. The only reason I can tolerate your existence is a little sweet plate here and there. Wait, I don't get it. I'm sorry, Jojo. I don't get this one. But thank you. Okay. He cheated throughout our entire marriage and relationship. He preferred one-night stands or he would pick up sex workers. He took money from our joint account to give to a sugar baby who I later recognized as his so-called assistant. I know, I look shocked and hurt because his best friend just laughed and told me that I must have known about this, saying I knew what XMM liked and knew he had wandering eye, but that I should have grown thicker skin by now. This dude is just laughing this whole time. Like, what did you expect? You saw him cheat on his wife for 5 years. You thought things were gonna be different? Oh my goodness. The watching delusional people wake up to reality is always so funny. I claim that this was all new to me because he never discussed his feelings with me. That's when the best friend hit me with another bombshell. Why would he? You aren't his ex-wife, and that's the one he really told all that deep intimate shit to besides his pops and then me after they divorced. The type of shit you try to bury deep and drink or drug away. You don't tell that to just anyone. I know, and I knew deep intimate details about my ex. Or wait, sorry, this is her now talking. She says, I know and knew deep intimate details about my ex, or at least I thought I did. He told me some painful secrets from his past, including an attempt on his life, but some particularly nasty characters from his old neighborhood, and I thought he had shared everything about himself with me. I was wrong again. The entire conversation spanned 45 minutes, so I decided I had nothing to lose and offered to pay for the next round. Oh, hello! Someone would like to visit. Mochlo for 10. No! No, Mochi! Now, why would you do that? I already told you I would give you attention. You don't need to be scratching up the painting on the walls. Come here. Hold on. He's being difficult. What do you want? Are you trying to guide me to something? Did little Timmy fall down a well? You want to go outside? You don't. Sorry, Mochi is a diva and demands all of the attention. Anyway, where were we? So she buys the next round. Of course, the little parasite was happy about this, and I asked how XMM saw our 25-year relationship. I love that they always include the time that they were married to someone else, given his recent epiphanies and change of tone. And I also love that she's calling him a parasite. You're the parasite. You are the parasite. Oh my god. I'm glad that I asked, but I also wish that I didn't. XMM's best friend said that he saw our relationship as more of a fling turned rebound turned consolation marriage after ex-married man's ex-wife called it quits. That he loved our daughter with all his heart, that he loved his older kids with all his heart, and he wanted to mend things with my children from the first or with his children from the first marriage, but finally understood their hatred for him and me. But if he had to do it all again, he never would have had an affair with me and would have just tried to stay faithful to his long-suffering perfect angel of an ex-wife. I zoned out when XMM's best friend started going on and on about how amazing ex-wife still looks for her age and that she still looks better than the majority of women his age. As if I needed any more crap rubbed in my face. Did not get enough rubbed in your face, quite frankly. I was in a bad car accident a few years ago, and as a result, I'm not as mobile and limber as I once was. So I've gained a little bit of weight, but not so much that I'm honestly not fat, but it bothers me still. Oh, so you deserve to be cheated on, is what you're saying. You've gotten lazy, you let yourself go, so you deserve this. That's according to your own logic, lady. I told him it was nice running into him and that I hope he had a nice evening, paid for the lunch I had, and left. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders and was placed into the hole in my heart. Two shattered families, legal cruelty and pettiness, lies on top of lies, and so many what ifs. I still feel as if our story was a 25-year-long love story, but the new reality leaves me feeling like I have ash on my tongue instead of strawberries. 25 years straight that she had managed to convince herself that she was the prize, that she truly got picked, that she was the chosen one, that she was the reason that he didn't have to cheat anymore because she was enough. A 25-year delusion shattered by one very giddy man who has long awaited that downfall. Oh man, what a good way for us to almost finish the stream. And I say almost because I have one more treat for you guys. Okay, one more treat. Let me cue this up for us real quick. Gotta make sure that I have it all nice and queued up. Beauteous. Before we go, we gotta watch a quick video to end our cheater stream making fun of cheaters. POV, you just got back from your work trip after you were caught cheating. The furnace was turned off and the water left overflowing. Do we approve? How do we rate this cheating revenge on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very bad, low effort, 10 being absolutely great? You can also say 0 if you just disapprove of revenge for cheating. Punslinger says, that wasn't an ice thing to do. Or it was an ice thing to do. That won't go well in court. No, she's going to get destroyed in court. Now, what's crazy is this actually has a twist. Come skating with me and I'll spill the tea. Because someone said, why did you cheat?
I have to come clean, y'all. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I'm telling you. No, really, I'm innocent. So this is what happened, because you guys clearly need an answer to this. I came here today because we used to come here together, and it just reminds me a lot of her, with it being, you know, so cold and icy and all.
It's got
The truth is, we worked together, and that's all. There was nothing more than that. I don't care about her. I think what hurts the worst is that she won't believe me, no matter what I say. When I got home to see the damage she had done, I was appalled. But the only reason I posted them was because she said that if I did that, and I cleaned up the mess, she would come back. She lied.
Okay, so this is interesting. He's claiming he's innocent, but I'm confused on what he meant by we just worked together, nothing happened. What?
I don't care about her. I together, and that's all. There was. The truth is, we worked together, and that's all. There was nothing more than that. I don't care about her. I think what hurts.
So I don't know if when he says the truth is we work together, that's all, I don't care about her, he's referring to the girl who just destroyed his entire house, or whoever he was on a work trip with that she thinks he cheated with. But it sounds like he was really on a work trip and that she thinks that he cheated, so she destroyed the house. But he's like, it was actually honestly a work trip. I only posted that story because she said she would come back if I did. So I don't like to victim blame, but this is going to be partially on him at this point because, like, bro, don't do anything to get her to come back. Do as much as you can to get her to stay away. What do you mean you lied about cheating on her in the hopes that she would forgive you? Sir, I'm taking your Stockholm Syndrome, okay? It's gone now. You're free. Escape! What are you doing? Oh my god! But there's more. I have another update for you.
Look at this. Oh, perfect. Oh my god. Isn't it great? Chris! Look at this.
He really thinks he's funny. He says, how many aura points did I lose when I posted these videos because she said she would come back? Plenty. Too many. You are now in a aura deficit. It will take at least a fiscal year to recover your aura loss, sir. What in the goddamn hell were you thinking? Time to shred his man card. Look, maybe. I don't want to like emasculate him for handling this poorly when I wouldn't necessarily tell a woman that she's less of a woman for going back to her abuser. It takes an average of 7 times to leave an abusive relationship. And look, if he really didn't cheat and she just thinks he did and did all this, it might just be one of those. Okay? As last I checked, I believe this is the finale, but I'll check one last time to make sure. But this might be our last video.
If you're not my come home. If you're not.
He's so trolling. Caption reads, "I'm sorry." Everyone's like, "Good lord, sir, run! Run!" Okay, we got one more. One more post from him. Let's see. POV, the woman showed up and left no crumbs. The literal depiction of the phrase, "Revenge is a dish best served cold." You deserve every bit plus more. So happy for you. I definitely am starting to lean toward he didn't cheat. This happened to him for no reason, and now he's just absolutely being a mad lad and joking so super hard about it. Like, I'm starting to think he didn't actually cheat, and now he's just like, look how quickly everybody is like, what? But, or this is all just one big troll job, like, not, like, this wasn't even caused by a woman. This is just, like, pipes burst or something in his house, and he was like, let's make up an elaborate plot line for the views. But I will say this definitely does put a light on like how quickly women will like immediately hate on a dude the second that they have any reason to believe he's cheated. This healed something in me. I'm so proud of her. Oh my god. That's a lot of pipes that burst. Yeah, fair, Samantha. I don't know how this stuff works, but I will say our local museum just had a bunch of pipes burst, and the damage did go pretty crazy. The damage was really bad. Luckily, not too many like artifacts were damaged, but like some were. Some were. I'm only more confused than I was at the start. If you guys feel like maybe keeping up with the saga, either he's a complete troll. There's like one of three possibilities here. Bro's either just like 100% trolling us and like there was no infidelity, there was no assumption of infidelity. This was just like some kind of a naturally occurring freak accident, you know? Or he did cheat. This was the result of this. And now he's just like making jokes. Like, I didn't do it. I didn't. Like, because he thinks it's funny. Or he did go on a work trip. He didn't cheat. This actually happened to him as the result of someone thinking he cheated. And he's just being kind of a goofy guy about it. The only thing that I don't understand is like, do we think that he actually posted? Because like, okay, yeah, this
This is nice.
yeah, he's playing along with the jokes from the jump. What do you guys vote? Do you vote A, this was just a naturally occurring disaster that he is has pontificated an entire story off of? That's vote A. Vote B, he really did cheat. This really did happen, and he's making jokes about it. Or C, he did not cheat. This really did happen, and he's making jokes about it. I'm leaning toward either A or C, to be honest. It's not impossible that he actually cheated, and it's also not impossible that he would have the audacity to make all of these jokes after just blatantly cheating. But also, this is such an a horrific destruction of property that it's almost like, I think some people would even agree that even if he did cheat, he didn't deserve this. So, like, I guess that's my other vote, or my other question to wrap up the stream is, if he did cheat, did he deserve this? What do you guys think? I'm curious. But if he cheated, he does deserve to freeze in his frozen hellscape. Fair, valid, okay. You know? Punishment fits the crime. You did something cold, she did something cold. D, cheated and natural disaster. Well, that's confusing, but I appreciate your input. Just to be contrary. Yeah, there it is. No, but he did deserve to lose his significant other and get his heart broken. Yeah. Bunny, I'm feeling conflicted on that one too. I think we all love a good cheater revenge story, but like, I'm also for like the punishment fitting the crime. You know what I mean? And I've also mentioned that like spite cheating back is only going to hurt you, so that one doesn't make any sense. Honestly, if you get cheated on, I think the best course of action is to just leave them. Like, losing you should be a big enough punishment. And if that doesn't work, then put instant mashed potatoes on their lawn before a rainstorm. Make sure that before you leave, you take the microwave plate with you. Just a little something. Like a tiny crime. Like, make sure it's misdemeanor-y. You know what I mean? If you absolutely have to. Anyway, let me bring Miles in for this final sign off here. Miles! Mr. My boys! Mr. Big Man! You better come in here. The people want the hugs. Oh, you're so big. This is gonna be harder to do every day. It's the Miles, guys. Oh, he's a good baby. Who's that big boy? Oh, we love the Miles. Alright, y'all. I might do another stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't even know what to talk about, to be honest. I've been kind of at a loss. So if you guys have ideas, email them to me at lauren@dadvocate.net. And I might just do a you send it, I react to it stream tomorrow. On Thursday, for YouTube members and patrons only, we are doing a member exclusive live. Thursday, 11 a.m. And it will be me telling the Dadvocate origin story alongside TJ. So everything from how we met, how I got involved in being the Dadvocate, our entire like court drama. So if you want to see that, definitely consider becoming a member or a patron, and you will have full access and we will have so much fun. It'll be a lot more intimate of an environment, so the odds of me even like missing any comments are going to be significantly lower, if not impossible, quite frankly. So really hope I see a good few of you there. Might see me tomorrow or Friday. I'm trying to get as many streams as I possibly can in before my surgery on February 5th, where I will be a bit out of commission, to say the least. But okay, we have been yapping. We did the thing. I came out. I did what I said I was going to do, which is making fun of cheaters for 3 hours straight. Mission accomplished, and I will happily do it again. But for now, it is time that I be off. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Like and sub, you know you want to, and I will see